I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a fossil, they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale, yeah. Hey, they talk like they got it, but they need to stop it. I'm leading with logic, my heartbeat is frosted. I seen it, got optics, I need it from Shawty. She mean with the top and it's obvious. They need him a target, I'm dodging they darts, make them reach for the stars. I'm jumping, I'm forcing the pun off the runs. I'm moving with caution, I'm saucing my nigga is nothing. From nothing to something they'll never be. Tycoon and I'm Jay with the thizzle face. I'm nothing my section has ever seen. Run the ice so I'm clutch, I don't need a screen. I'm Curry, I spit shit from 30 deep. Do the pin in the pad like it's surgery. She been curving you just to flirt with me. Toolie tucked off, but the jewels out. I just sent her home with a full mouth. I'm a rare breed when the moon out. I'ma stop playing by the rules now. I been ran plays, need a new route. Queen said she needs space in a new house. Mom told me that you pray for the kid every day. No wonder I'm getting paid for the tunes now. They barely ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. Niggas really outside with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We got Mandrell in the building. Do you hear me, Mandrell? I don't think Mandrell hear me, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Y'all,
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Mandrell be having the blank face.
I got you.
Face all the time. I want to give a shout out to who we got in the audience. We got David. We got how you doing, Queen Smiley? How you doing? Lost in Translation podcast. How y'all doing? Where there's two or more gathered in the room together, we gonna get this thing popping. So, Mandrell, man, tell me about your week, man. It's Friday. Anything significant happened to you this week?
No. Significant? Nah. Yeah, but it was a good week, though. It was a good week. I got a lot of sleep yesterday and today. Today I did absolutely nothing. It was blissful. First time in a long time. I just sat there and did nothing.
Good evening, Bethany. Bethany Elena in the building. I know the subject is supposed to be about Nia Long and Ime Udoka, but I got to ask you, Mandrell, how do you feel about Brittany Griner, man? Not Brittany Griner, Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner being released from the Russian penal colony, man. How do you feel? Are you happy? Are you mad? Or do you not give a damn?
I don't care. Freezy, I don't care. Listen, I think she should have stayed in jail. This is not a good trade by any stretch of the imagination. Not at all. People keep calling the guy an arms dealer. He was a spy. A spy. Not just an arms dealer. Yeah, arms dealer is something he did, yeah, but he was also a spy. Now, she gets arrested for something that's now if marijuana or cannabis or THC oil was legal on a federal level nationwide here, I say she had a point, but she was locked away for something that people here, I mean thousands of people here stateside are locked up for still, right. Even though it's legal in some states. She got arrested for something people here are locked up. So I'm like, okay, why don't you free the people here first? Fuck her.
But the the conviction is not that extensive. They gave her 9 years in Russia.
Yeah,
Right?
I disagree that. I disagree with that from the beginning. 9 years is way too much. That was ridiculous. It's especially for the amount that she had. They called it trafficking. What's she trafficking? Nothing. And here's the thing. They knew she had this stuff. I disagree with the arrest from the get-go. I disagree with her getting in trouble. But being that she got in trouble, my thing is, should we try to get her out? No. We got people here locked up for that same thing.
Right.
So what? But here's the thing. It was a political ploy. It was a political tool. That's another reason why we should not have gotten her out. Okay? Now look at the optics of this. Look at how weak America looks. Listen, they all the time when American athletes go overseas to play, they get joint sprains, muscle pull, torn ligaments, torn ACLs, all dislocated joints, things like that. They get injured, right?
Right.
So before they get there, when they get diagnosed with something and prescribed a medication from their doctor, they have to tell their team, and the team has all this data. So you're gonna fly overseas, you got to go through customs and whatnot, right? The team has to report this to a foreign government before they get there that these players have this medicine. So because if you don't do that, you get stopped at customs, right? Well, these teams don't want that kind of smoke. So teams and athletes don't want that kind of smoke. So they report it. They knew she had that stuff before she got there. And they snatched her up because they knew she had it. And they used her as a political pawn, and it worked. Plain and simple. Now, thanks to Sleepy Joe, America looks all the more weak, especially with the debacle of how we got out of Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep adding them up. He needed a win after the midterm elections. That's what he needed. He thought this was going to be a win. It was for the bleeding heart liberals and the like. You know what I'm saying? But anyone with half a brain knows that this is a terrible decision. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate, and I would want someone to come help me. But at the same time, looking at the situation, I would understand if no one did.
Yeah, I was saying that too. If I was in her shoes, I wouldn't give a damn. Just get me out of prison. But Mr. Bennett, how are you doing, my brother?
I am well. Just making some home improvements, pouring money into the money pit, and so all that stuff is coming to an end. But yeah, just a lot of home maintenance right now. So writing a lot of checks, and we're trying to keep the place up and running, and taking preventive action. But other than that, it's been a good week, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do such things. So I can only complain so much.
That's awesome, man. Do you agree with the release of Brittany Griner? Just for just for a beginner of the show, which I'm just asking everybody's opinion.
I got you. It's tough for me. Obviously, I agree with Mandrell. It was definitely political, certainly on the Russian side. Given the fact that it's wartime, and I'm still not understand. I understand that a lot of the ladies, they play overseas because the money's better over there. They're 7 months out of the year, but the minute Russia went to war, you're almost in a situation where you have to start thinking about your own safety, especially since America has been helping Ukraine with the aid and whatnot. So anything they can get you for. So I mean, I wasn't necessarily happy with the trade, but at the same time, I think it was, unless they were just going to walk away from it altogether, that was the only thing they were giving up. Because I know there's been a lot of talk about the Marine who's still there, but the bottom line, from what I understand, is Russia was saying, look, unless you give us a spy, we're not giving him up. Or they weren't, he wasn't going to be part of that. He wasn't going to be part of that deal. But the fact of the matter is here, obviously there was a lot of advocacy, certainly from the leagues and from the celebrities from Hollywood, which certainly has a lot of influence on the political parties. And, they made a move that, certainly what may help them. We'll see if this helped them politically, but I know a lot of conservatives, they're upset about it, but I don't worry about them too much because they weren't worrying about that Marine before. And if they want to really fight for him to be gone, they can do what these other folks did. They use advocacy to drive political pressure to expedite her release. So they can do the same thing for this Marine that they're lamenting that he's not coming home. But Russia, he was never going to be part of any deal. So for everybody complaining about it, I think y'all need to get over it and advocate.
No. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. The Marine should have came home first. Fuck the athlete.
They weren't going
She's
to
an
give him
athlete.
up,
She brings no value to America. Okay, I get it. But
I
this is
agree.
when you
I would
carpet
take the
bomb.
Marine
This
over
hold
her
up. This is
any
when
day
you
of the
carpet
week.
bomb Moscow.
What's that?
You have
to do what?
This is see now it's public, and no one's going to care about the Marine still. But I would say, even if it's one Marine over there, we carpet bomb Moscow. I would be okay with that. You treated a spy for an athlete. What?
You got to bomb Moscow.
That's like you giving me one sheet of paper. Oh, hold on. Okay, a second. That's just like me. You giving me one sheet of paper that's blank, and I give you $1 million.
Yeah,
that's what this trade was like.
Dumbass.
I got nothing. You know what?
It's not a fair trade. But they weren't giving up
out of it.
They weren't giving up the Marine, so that's why it's not even worth discussing, because he was never a part of the. He was
I
never.
think that's what Mr. Bennett was saying in the beginning. It wasn't even a negotiation to give up the Marine in the beginning. So
yeah, and the thing is, my thing is, do you see the problem with that, Freezy?
Yeah, we saw.
No. Do you see the problem with that?
I defer to you guys in regards to that. So we got a whole slew of soldiers here. So I defer to you guys on this, man.
Okay, well, we're gonna move along. I was gonna go to Tarus next. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, how's it going, man?
No, I'm doing pretty good. How was your week so far?
It was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Did some holiday shopping. Talked to some people, caught up with some people. Good week.
That's awesome, man. So we're talking about Brittany Griner for starters. We know that she got released. What are your views on it being a vet? Do you agree with her being freed? Do you not care at all, or are you just absolutely disgusted by the trade?
I'm absolutely glad she's home. I'm always glad that we can get an American back home to the States safely before she, Russian prisons and those sort of camps, man, it's rough. And any sort of American, we're not built for that kind of life. I can promise you that. As far as the trade goes, we have to remember this guy that we traded was in jail for God knows how long. We are already going to track him. I guarantee you we got spies on the ground that will track him as we speak. The Marine, unfortunately, that's a Marine who was dishonorably discharged. And you know how hard you got to try to get dishonorably discharged in the military. So he was already booted out of the U.S. military dishonorably, then got caught up doing illegal shit in a foreign country. I don't feel bad for him whatsoever. Now, for as far as Brittany goes, bringing cannabis overseas, everybody should know that's a no-no. Was the sentence harsh? Absolutely. Was it justified? No, but we also have to remind ourselves, we also have to remember we're at a time of war. Russia just invaded Ukraine. They're looking for any sort of leverage or any sort of hearts and minds of propaganda that they can get. All right. Brittany Griner was an easy one. But I'm also really proud of my fellow Americans because look how many people finally planted the seed and opened the bubble to geopolitical conflicts going on around the world, not just in America. So I'm really happy for this.
Damn, that was a totally different outlook. That's why I like Tarus. He just going, Tarus gonna switch everything up. Okay, so we're gonna go to Black David. What's going on, my dog? Black David in the building.
What's good? I looked into the same situation. I was kind of
wait. Before you answer that, David, how was your week, man?
Week been good. I'm not gonna lie. Try not to lose my cool when we gotta deal with customer service doing tech support. Trying to make sure I don't go too hard on my kids. Besides that, it's been an okay week.
That's why I like, man. You always stand up guys on Black Man Unfiltered show. So, how do you feel about Brittany Griner being released? Are you indifferent? Are you disgusted? Or are you very happy?
I will say this: you traded a guy what Mandrell considered was a spy also known as the Merchant of Death. One of the main guys responsible for multiple civil war that happened in Africa, selling arms. For a lady who's supposed to know better, during a time of war, don't travel to an oppressing country that gonna use you for leverage. And you know, it have been proven in history when there's certain nation that kind of hostile. You don't go there like a bozo. Traveling there like I'm a celebrity, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. Like, are you kidding me? The way I ask this damn question, why when we come to American people in celebrity status, either from A-lister down to D-lister, think they have a blanket of security when they go to any other country, thinking nothing gonna happen to them? Why you that goddamn stupid and slow? I don't understand.
Did you think that she knew the extent of the punishment if she would have got caught? You think she already knew?
No, she didn't know. But my thing is,
and
why
does that make a difference?
What made a difference? It doesn't matter make a difference, but why travel there in the first place? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Because she was allowed to have it.
She
was allowed to have it, Blake David. David, she was allowed to have it. That wasn't her first time carrying stuff over there. That's not her first time carrying it over there.
I get it, but
she was allowed to have it. She was allowed to have it. Go ahead.
I was trying to say, common sense will let you think, like, you know what? Let me not get myself out of this. I'm not going to use myself to be a political pawn for something that it can make them look real bad. That's what I'm trying to look at. Because
you are really overvaluing the intelligence of the average American when it comes to international politics.
I'm not overvaluing.
She had no idea what was going on when she made that decision. I promise you that. It doesn't justify it, but I guarantee you she had no clue. She clearly has been to Russia before, has carried the stuff into Russia before, and prior to this incident, wasn't a problem.
I kind of agree with Tarus. I think if she knew she was going to get,
but because of the war, I'm with Tarus. Like I said, the reason why she did it because she knew she was allowed to have it. She didn't know this was going to be a big problem, but here comes the Russia and Ukraine incident. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, Tarus? All of a sudden, Russia wants to extend you. You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm saying that
she was again. The hold on, Blake David. These things are cleared through Russia, through customs in Russia before you take it over there. That, like I said, that's how they knew she had it. They knew she had it before she got there.
I get it.
You know,
I'm acting that way. When I'm thinking that way, because for some reason I know that it has been a trend. Whenever a particular country go into war, and they never had a problem with a particular party, all of a sudden they would make that political party out of nowhere. Sometimes to wonder, maybe people need to have that sense of habit, like, you know what? I know I got away with it before; it was no big deal. Maybe if you have that instinct telling you, you know what, don't go there with it, just leave it behind because you don't know what's gonna happen. I have traveled a lot as a young kid, and I always noticed something being off. When you have that sixth sense keep telling you, nah, don't try this. Because this country out there, they don't care.
For that person with average, who pays attention to politics, yes. Who practice typical OPSEC, absolutely. For an athlete and for the everyday person, probably not.
I get it.
So this is a perfect learning opportunity because this is what happens when you don't pay attention. You end up becoming a real easy alley-oop for someone like Vladimir Putin, who is, remember, she basically gave him an alley-oop when he's looking for any way to disrupt the unity that Biden's got going on with the EU and getting NATO on the same page. You get what I mean? So
and that's why I was looking at it because I was scratching my head like, why?
Because
I know
that's where, look, that's where her money is. She makes way more money in Russia than she does. I think
she makes like $1 million
a year playing for the Russian team. She's there 7 months out of the year. WNBA is only 5 months here. So, and for a lot of those American players, that's the only way, you know, they haven't learned how to really monetize in the United States, which is a problem in and of itself. You know, because the league, I understand, doesn't make any money. It's not a profit for the NBA.
Mr. Bennett's absolutely correct. They make a lot more money overseas than they do here.
And it's true. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. When it comes to overseas sport, I know that totally well. If it's not basketball, it's soccer. If it's not soccer, it is something else. My people, my country, do the same exact thing. They don't make money in soccer in our country, but they go out there to make 5 to 10 times, 20 times more. So that is the known thing. My thing is just that for a person who grew up traveling tonight at a very young age, understand you have to be aware about certain things. Then you're right, Terrell. America is not on that level of being aware or be alert before to make that move. I get it. I learned that at a super young age. I'm sorry. I got forced to understand that at a young age. So that's why if I'm going to travel, I need to do my homework. What's going on that place before I make my move? I'm not going to put myself in no political nonsense.
But that's what Mr. Bennett. That's what Mr. Bennett was telling you. Like Russia's basically her second home. You get what I mean? Like it's. They go back and forth all day, every day. They probably, and because she is the status who she is, she probably never gets checked. You know what I mean? They probably let her go right on through.
And I'm sure she's wondering after this, like, what upon me going back there? You did me like you did me dirty. I'll play for you guys. I'll play in your country. Now I'm a pawn.
To me, the interesting thing is what, as far as for these female players playing in Russia now, these Americans playing, what is going to be their next move? Are they going to continue? Because I haven't heard anybody, I haven't heard the WNBA make any kind of move to say, look, we're advising, American-born players not to play in Russia, especially now, as you said, Black David, with the wartime. I haven't heard any of that. No one's, making any moves in terms of trying to boycott or whatever. But again, that just shows you, they really can't because of the financial situation.
Right. I'm gonna get my man in here, DL Saint, in the building.
What's good, fam? How y'all feel? Good. What's
Doing
good?
well, sir. Good to see you.
Pretty good, man.
Salute
how was
to
your week,
everybody.
bro?
My week is good. I just want to start off, Brother Tarus, Sunday, don't take this ass whooping personal, all right? Ain't nothing personal. Ain't personal. Just letting you know up front. Number love for you. Number love for you. Fuck Steelers.
We're gonna sweep them. We're gonna sweep you guys again.
Yeah, okay. Come your ass swept right up out the stadium. But it's all right. We'll see Sunday. All right? Don't call me nothing till the shit's over. All right? Don't take it personal. I'm just playing, man. Let's get that there.
Oh, yeah. He's sandwiched AFC North representing again.
Yeah, we up in this piece.
Yes, sir.
We up in this piece. Everything's good, man. I guess Brittany Griner, whatever her name is. I blame her her people, her agents, her management. I don't think they properly prepped her. You know what I mean? To Black David's point, you gotta realize, bro, the average American can't name 3 countries. Period. You start like you're where you're from. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can draw the map of the world. When you get out of kindergarten, that should be not. So to think that she knew what was going on or it made any sense to her or whatever. Americans are just, we're just dumb. We're just stupid and we don't travel. So she got caught up. I put it on her team. But it is what it is. As far as the trade for her, it's good to get Americans out, but I wouldn't have let the Merchant of Death go. I'm hoping against all odds that they flipped him and he's like an asset, an American asset. I'm hoping that's what the case is, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? Because our leadership is in America. Like I'm surprised we're still a country. Just put it that way. If it weren't for our military, we'd be in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? When young can name their YouTubers and all the Kardashians can't name 3 countries on planet Earth, bro, we got a fucking problem. But that's it. And we're talking about the WNBA and why these women got to leave to go make this money. To brother Mr. Bennett's point, they don't sell any tickets. Shout out to Bill Burr. It just they got to leave because the guys pay for it. This is capitalism here, bro. It's that Bill Burr bit. If y'all haven't seen it, watch that shit, man. I've seen it 100 times. I laughed every single time. If anybody got any smoke for me in the chat, because I'm talking crazy about the WNBA, name the top 5 WNBA players right now. Go ahead and put them in the chat. You know what I mean? Hell, name the WNBA team in your city. Go ahead, put it in the chat. Yeah, they gotta be playing. I said top five playing right now. I mean, man. So I Brittany 4 more. You know what I mean? Give me 4 more. So it is what it is. Go to this topic. I got like another 30 minutes and do my boy stuff. So I was like, ooh, let me jump on this, because this is a good topic. You know what I mean? And surprised now Gerald ain't talked about Kanye. Oh, did I say that out loud? Shit. I ain't get a word in now for 45 minutes.
So, okay, so by now, I'm pretty sure all the guys have read the topic of the show, but I'll read it for you anyway and for the chat. The topic says Nia Long and Ime Udoka break up. So as we know in recent news, Nia Long broke the news that they, her and her longtime, I don't know what they call his ass, boyfriend or what they just split.
Fiance since 2005. Go figure.
Okay, fiance. Okay, yeah.
Ooh, that's what it is.
Hold on, time out.
No, correction, 2015. My bad. But still, 7-year fiance. Go figure that.
So she just announced the split, right? And I think we've already covered on this show, Black Man Unfiltered, about the sex scandal, the infidelity. Ime Udoka got caught cheating with one of the staff members, which originally they were saying was the vice president. I think her name was Allison Feaster or something like that, but a black lady. But it came out later on in the public that it was another lady, a white lady, named Kathleen something. I forgot, but she's a Mormon. And she's also a staffer at the Boston Celtics. So amid that crisis, they didn't work out, and Nia Long announced a split. Now, I'm going to read you guys something where on December 1st, 2022, pay attention, Nia Long slams the Celtics organization for their handling of Ime Udoka's suspension and affair. Basically, she was saying that they did not reach out to her regarding how she was doing and her son. They were not show any concern for her family, her son, and she was highly disappointed. She says, I think the most heartbreaking thing about all this was seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public. So, do you guys agree with Nia Long? This is my first question to open up the panel about this subject. Do you guys agree that Nia Long is right? Do you feel like the Celtics should have reached out to her and her family, showed concern to her, her son, and her family, because Ime Udoka was having sex with one of the staff members at the Boston Celtics? Since Black David has his hand up, I'm going to let you go first.
What I'm going to say, when the Boston Celtics care about anybody black, let you playing for them.
I mean, on that. So, well, I don't. She's been engaged with your wife. That and being married are 2 different things. And is that son or is that her son?
That's their son together.
Their son together? Okay.
Yeah, the youngest one.
But think about it. This is not the first time Boston to have a scandal. They have plenty other, and they kept it under wrap. It's just that because one, he decided to sleep with the vice president's wife. According to Mark Johnson, he did an interview today this morning in the Breakfast Club. She's a Mormon. That's the dumbest thing to do. But really, Boston Celtics have a track record. They don't really get too upset about anybody unless you're under their umbrella and you are kissing up to them. So that being said, to do that and put it out there and make a mockery of it, plus they didn't handle the investigation properly, plus you just add out his laundry, but those other people part of that particular incident, but you decide not to air that one out, and ESPN jumped on it, First Take jumped on it. Everybody was dissecting them like, what the hell? This is Boston. They're messy. What do you expect from that? Be honest.
Okay, well, basically, Black David said she out her rabbit ass mind and she think the Boston Celtics should have reached out to her and her family. Tyrus, we're gonna go to you next. Do you think that the Boston Celtics owed her that much respect? Being that it was concerning, you know, the hurting of her family, and you know, the detriment that it caused with her and her son and all that. Do you think that the Boston Celtics should have did their due diligence and reached out to her and her family and tried to check on her to see how she was doing?
Absolutely. And here's why. First and foremost, we have to remember who Ime also had an affair with. And I'll read it directly from TMZ. The Celtics employee with whom Ime Udoka had an affair helped make all his travel arrangements. And that job sometimes included organizing travel for his fiancée, Nia Long. Sources connected to the couple and the NBA franchise tell TMZ one of the staffers' duties included planning Udoka's team-related travel, and we're told she was also involved in booking travel for Nia to come to Boston 2 and 4 road games. By the way, the same woman that Ime was smashing was also responsible for the permanent move Nia and the son made to Boston, right? So the whole time, this Celtics employee is helping the fiance, the man blowing her back out at work. Yes, the Celtics absolutely had a responsibility to let her know. And by the way, shout out to Nia Long because she could have blasted Ime. She had every right, all the ammo to blast him, and she still pointed at the Celtics organization instead of putting the son, the father of her son, on blast in public. Man, shout out to her because there's a lot of people who wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you nicer than me, bro. I don't know about all that.
She might have put him on blast in private with her son.
He put it on blast by sleeping with people he works with, which is already a no-go in corporate America.
Okay. You know what? You make a good point. Hey, we're going to get deeper into this story.
At the end of the day, he's the reason he's in this situation.
Y'all hold
self-control, and we wouldn't be here.
Hey, all I gotta say is y'all strap on your seatbelts. This is a big conversation. We haven't even touched the surface. So we're gonna stay on the bottom row with my dog DL Saint. DL, do you think that the Boston Celtics, as a professional organization, should have reached out to Nia Long and her son? Like she stated in the media, she was very highly disappointed in the Boston Celtics organization because they showed a lot of unprofessionalism, and she felt like they did not show any concern to her family. Do you think they should have done that?
No, I don't think they should have done that. Like I said, they're not married. You know, if that's wife, you know, be married, I probably or at least letting this is coming out. But I mean, you know, all right.
Your mic is kind of breaking up just a little bit.
All right, I
don't know if it's an internet connection or what. I don't know.
It could be, man. You buy here, pay here, shit. So who knows, man? Is it any better?
You sound a little better right now.
Could be the distance. I'm not sure it could be, but I would. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think that responsibility as an organization. Now, I don't. You know, we're having this discussion not knowing what their policy and procedures are. We don't know. But to Brother Tarus's point, would this one also be responsible for bullying family, like mom and dad? And if so, would you have to tell mom and dad, like, hey, mom, dad, your son is over here now back of some more lady? You see what I mean? Like, what is the procedures and protocol? I think the organization should stay out of it. You
have a head coach having an affair with someone directly within his chain of command. This is the part you guys are not grasping here. From a straight up corporate environment, from a straight up business perspective.
Wait, Tarus. We're gonna let DL finish his thought, and then if you want to rebut, I mean, I'll let you do. I want to let DL finish his thought though. Go ahead, DL.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not gonna push back against that, but again, we don't know what their policy is. You know what I mean? If it's a step policy, what they do, this is who notify. Fine. I don't believe there's any morals involved in this. I mean, come on, we're talking about the NBA. There's all kind of fuckery going on. You know what I mean? So if they were to get involved in each and everything, this is the one we got. You know what I mean? How many others, you know what I'm saying, was he rocking in within NBA and outside the NBA? That's my thing. I don't know. I don't know if not that I don't know. I do not agree that with Brother Truth, they should have done that. I think Long shouldn't have said anything. And here's the thing. She's in a bad position. Were it not for the media coverage, I don't think she would say a word. I think she would continue with her relationship and still be trying to get married. You know what I mean? She's still going to want this dude. This is a top tier guy. This is a guy that's hard to find. And I would argue that she understands that. She's like, you know what? We're going to do what we do. This is our family, but it got messy. I'll be mad at him about that. Like, bro, it's messy. You know what I mean? So no, that's my point on there. And Brother Tarus, how about them Bengals? But go ahead.
You have anything to say, Tarus, behind that? Or I know you had an opinion behind that.
I disagree with everything DL said, especially the end. Go Browns. First and foremost, we don't have to do what if, hop to a multiverse, make up alternative timelines. Here are the facts. Ime, in a position of power, was sleeping with a member of the staff directly within his chain of command. This lady also happened to be in charge of travel arrangements, which included her as an official Celtics employee, helping Nia Long, the coach's fiance, right? That's a direct business to dependent relationship right there. Permanently move, as well as booking for travel and hotel for away games and everything. So there is no what if. We have one wrong. Dude sleeping with a fellow employee, specifically someone he has authority over. 2, cheating on his fiance. 3, getting fucking caught. Like there's no situation here where I'm looking at Nia Long like, yeah, you got to suck that one up, girl. Like, I don't know if you should say anything. Meanwhile, this man knows that the woman helping his fiance and his son out with moving is also helping them out in other sort of extracurricular ways. And he ain't say anything. So I don't want to hear anything about not saying anything or keep that to yourself, because if he was concerned about all that shit, he would have not done any of this in the first place. That's my rebuttal.
You muted.
Sorry. So, Mr. Bennett, you know the caveat to not the caveat, but you know the gist of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She was very highly disappointed in the Boston Celtics organization. She felt like they should have reached out to her and her family, and they did a poor job, and they need to be ashamed of themselves and all of the above. Do you think that the Boston Celtics had the responsibility to do their due diligence to reach out to her and her family and to show concern to her and her son after the cheating scandal?
I don't know if I would use responsibility, but I would say that league-wide, this is an issue that happens throughout the league, where you have executives and other high places who've had to deal with these, and most of the teams handle this stuff privately. There's a lot more going on out there than nobody realizes. So how the Celtics handle it, just in terms of just procedure, just in terms of your fellow owners and how other organizations have done it, they could have learned a lesson from how they did it. So the way they did it is sloppy, but I do think there might be a reason as to why they did it the way they did. I'm a lifelong Celtic fan. Okay, I got a Larry Bird jersey. Okay, I go all the way back with them. So I understand the history of Boston. I understand all that, but I've always loved the team because of the history they made with black players. First black player in the NBA was a Boston Celtic. First black all-starting 5 was Boston Celtics. First black coach was Boston Celtic, and they're the only American franchise in sports to have 3 coaches to win championships for them. So, you know, certainly in a lot of ways, they've done a lot regarding black coaches and black players. But having said that, this was horribly done. And this is just, you know, they could have looked to the left and to the right and seen how other leagues, how other teams within their league have done it. And they could have did a lot better than this. But I'll just say this in regards to just the situation overall. I mean, you're talking about a lot of things that just didn't go right. I mean, you figure just relation, again, I'm not going to judge anyone's relationship, but to me, it's just another example of why you need to marry before you carry. You got an 11-year-old, right? They've been engaged since 2015, so you put the cart before the horse. And generally speaking, look, when it comes to engagements for me, I'm not giving a woman a ring unless I intend to marry her within a year. So the fact that, you know, now you got a lot of times the engagement ring means virtually nothing these days. It's almost like back in the day when our folks used to talk about getting pinned. You wore your pin of your boyfriend to mean that you were there steady or whatever. That's all an engagement ring. It's a placeholder, but it means absolutely no commitment to marry anyone. So, you know, so that's problematic. But the last thing I want to get to, and again, I'm not trying to, you know, some people may hate me for making this racial or whatever, but again, for a lot of brothers in these situations, you think because you're in a certain position or status that you can move like everybody else. And they're telling you that you cannot. All right. If this was another person, I don't think he would have got the same treatment, or they would have kept it under wraps. There's another story going on now. We all know about the Good Morning America story with that guy, TJ Holmes, having an affair with Amy Roebuck. Now she's coming back, right? She's coming back to the air. He's still going to be suspended. So again, a lot of times you get into these places, I don't know if you think that because you get with these certain women or whatever, that somehow elevates you. But at the end of the day, they're still going to treat you differently from anybody else. You're still going to be at the bottom of the totem.
I didn't know that. So she's coming back, and he's
coming back, even though it was consensual. Again, go back to the Boston thing. Even though this was quote unquote a consensual relationship, there was no punishment for this lady for her involvement in the affair. Same thing here. It seems like Amy. I mean, it was consensual for both of them. She's coming back, but he's still being suspended for it. So again, for a lot of brothers, you think that because you're on TV, or you think because you got some sort of prominence or what have you, that you can just move and operate like I've made it, like everybody else. You still got to, you know, operate and move like, look, I don't have that freedom to flex like everybody else does. So I think this is just another lesson how, you know, not to, you know, tie too closely to it, but it's almost similar to Emmett Till-ism to me. That, you know, black man caught in certain situations, you think you can move like everybody else, you can't. All right, stay in your lane and don't necessarily eat while you're planting. That's just generally across the board for anybody. Now, look, I met my wife at work. Okay, we didn't work in the same team or the department or whatever. It was a big company. I met her at work, but again, I even told her recently, I would, you know, in 2022, I don't think I would have even dated you. That's just the culture now of mixing business with pleasure and corporate it's a no-no. And so you just don't need that kind of heat right now. So this should be just a lesson for everybody that, you know, that you just have to really watch, especially as a black man in corporate America, you just have to really watch how you move, especially if you're going to be going and dating members of outside of your ethnicity. That people may not look at that favorably, and some people may even look at it as punitive for you making that kind of action. So I would still caution brothers, be careful with that stuff.
Not to go off on a tangent, Mr. Bennett, but I also want to note that it was a black lady by the name of Kim Godwin, the president of ABC News, that actually did the suspension of TJ Holmes and made a decision.
All right. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because it's almost on the other side, going back to the Ime situation. Who were the people who went after Ime? It was black women, right? It was the broadcast on ESPN. She really went hard at him. So again, that's another thing. If you're going to get with someone else, don't be surprised when the sisters come at you, because they got another reason to be upset stepping outside. So yeah, so if you got sisters in authority or in media who are going to be firing those shots at you, you better be very careful how you move, because you know they be waiting for an opportunity to come at you. So you know, black women absolutely aren't in love with Ime, nor are they in love with TJ Holmes right now. Whatever they get from anybody is in their minds justice. So you just gotta be careful about that stuff.
I agree. We're gonna fit my dog Drelly, aka Mandrell, in here. We're gonna get his opinion on what Nia Long had to say, trashing the Boston Celtics organization, saying that they did not reach out to her and her family. She felt like they should have done a better job at reaching out to her and her family, checking on their goodwill, and amid the cheating scandal that they call it with her fiance Ime Udoka. Do you think that the Boston Celtics should have had the responsibility to reach out to Nia Long and to check on how her and her son was doing amid that the cheating process?
No. I mean, what job does that? Honestly, what organization? You work at a bank. Is the bank gonna call you? Cheating your wife? You work at a bank. You cheating your wife? The bank gonna call your wife and say, "Hey, ma'am, just Miss Freezy, we're just trying to see if everything's okay." You work for a Fortune 500. They're gonna do the same? No. I mean, I don't want to speak out of school here, but she sounds like she's talking. It sounds rather self-absorbed and self-indulgent. I'm not saying she's narcissistic or anything like that, but she shouldn't expect that from an organization. It's an organization of employment. That's where her husband was, well, fiance was, let's call it what it is, a boyfriend, where her boyfriend was employed. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't her husband. And I mean, I don't know whose fault that was, who drugged their feet on that, but you engaged since 2015. I'm of the mind to assume that ain't happening. So, I mean, what y'all ain't married. I mean, so what do we owe you?
I said, that's why don't even give them the ring. If you don't have like immediate plans, like a date, I wouldn't even give you a ring. I mean, it's not even.
Didn't Jennifer Hudson did the same exact thing? You know who? For X amount of years before they broke up their engagement. How you have this long engagement for what purpose?
I don't understand.
It's like I said,
it's just me.
It's just to keep you off the market so nobody else can mess with you. You don't want to give them up yet, but you're not looking to wife them either. So.
Mr. Bennett getting gangster on y'all this year.
She should. Yeah, right. She shouldn't expect that at all. I mean, that's
that.
So
the only thing that complicates that though is the fact that they had a son together. That's the only thing that makes that a little. I could see her wanting to hold out a while, but still, 7 years later, bro. I mean,
yeah, she's pregnant 9 months. Let's give her 6 months. Let's be liberal. 6 months to recover. That 7th or 8th month, we should be walking down the aisle.
So another point that we kind of glossed over. If I'm the organization and I catch Mandrell's right here, I catch Mandrell's woman messing around, and I call and tell him that we caught your woman, your wife, messing around with one of her subordinates. She gets home and Mandrell goes full Green Beret on her and never see her again. Right? Is the liability there? Is that organization somehow, somehow responsible for causing this event?
Right, because she could turn around just you know what? I was thinking the same thing, DL. She could turn, if they did reach out to her and get involved in that mess, she could turn around and use them as a pawn and say, hey, you guys knew that somebody in your organization knew that this was going on, but all they was doing was reaching out to her and being nice. But she could turn around and use that niceness as a weapon. I do agree with that. But
yeah.
So y'all gotta use Mandrell for this.
So the ultimate question is of this topic is who's to blame for the breakup. But we're not going to answer that question right now. We're not going to answer that question right now. We're going to save that one for later. Okay? Because that's going to be the big bang. Because I want to know, after we cover all these topics, after we get all the juicy stories out and everything, I want to know y'all final opinion on this whole matter. So the next thing we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to read this to you guys. On October 5th, 2011, Nia Long says she asked God for her pregnancy with Udoka. And it reads, a doctor's visit originally left Long with little hope of having children with boyfriend at the time, Udoka. The actress revealed in the November 2011 issue of Ebony. So basically, she ended up getting pregnant, and she was praising God for this child because she had asked God to be pregnant, to get pregnant. This was prior to them getting engaged. This was prior to her becoming a fiance. She wanted to have a baby. Now, I want to ask the panel, is there something wrong with that mindset to want to give birth to your significant other who you've been talking to, right? And prior to them getting engaged, there something wrong?
But to clarify that, it's 4 years though. The son's 11 and they've been engaged since 15, so that's 7. So it's 4 years between the time that she had the son and the engagement. So there's a whole lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Let me add to that.
So I'm gonna give this question to the panel, and I'm going to repeat it because I don't think y'all heard me. She said, Black David said, we heard your ass. She said she thanked God. She asked God to, for a baby. She wanted to get pregnant in 2011, October 5th to be exact. Do you guys think it's something wrong with that mindset of a woman to wish to get pregnant from her significant other, even before the guy proposes to her? Black David, you have your hands up once again. We're going to go.
Yeah, I've been saying this.
Real quick, could you put up Dr. H19 Delta? I agree with that text right there. That right there. I agree 100% with that.
Now keep it there. Hell yeah. I've been saying this since I was in high school. How in the world do the American women think it's okay to get knocked up out of wedlock like it's some kind of highly privileged? But
you just answered your own question. An American woman.
Just go check the private chat. Go check the private chat.
You answered your own question. You answered your own question, David.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that I find that so highly ironic, stupid. This is now a cultural trend. What my Mandrell said, American women will pray to get pregnant out of wedlock. Now that is something great. You put the horse before the carriage, and you expect something to happen or get better behind that. Then get engaged 4 years later for almost 7 years just to break it off and repeat from Jennifer Hudson, who do the same exact thing with a former WWE wrestler. Like, are you guys stuck on stupid? To be honest, I'm trying to figure this one out.
You talking about Americans? Yes, we already established that, man. Americans are stupid, bro. You gotta let that go. I mean, that's not even a conversation. You know what I mean? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Hang on, is it just America though? I mean, some of these third world countries and whatnot. I mean, out of wedlock stuff. I mean, it's not like you got a bunch of marriages in some of these other countries too, bro. I mean, it's all over.
No,
it's not just.
No. Let me tell you why I say it's a heavy trend here. Because in my country, normally, if you got two parents and you got knocked up out of wedlock, you see a bunch of village men with cutlass looking for the guy who knocked you up. They get you.
It used to be here too. Shotgun weddings used to be a thing in America, generations and generations ago. There's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to be having a child. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it's weird to pray for something like that and not get married. You know what I mean? And I think I Am the Single One was saying it was like her age and she was rushing against the clock or something like that. Here's the thing. Someone like Nia Long can have just about any man she wants. She could go down to the bottom 80, bottom 90 percentile of men and get any guy she wants. That guy won't cheat. That guy will pedestalize her. He'll do anything and everything to keep her happy in his life. The bottom 80 dudes, right? But that's not what she wants, right? She wants the best she can get. Well, if you're going to get the best you can get, that's going to come with something in some cases, right? And like I said, I don't think it was a problem until the media jumped on it and she was stuck. So, no, I don't think it's crazy that a woman wants a child and she's racing against her biological clock. I don't think any of that's crazy. I think it makes sense to me. But you got to leave the religious part out. That's the part I don't understand. Because if she was a religious woman, she would have been married and had all her kids by the time she was 28.
Bro, that's like
that's a heck
saying
of a
that's
test drive.
no. Hold up. I can't be the only one here.
We had DL. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that was DL's take on it. To Roots, I see it on your face. We're just going to go ahead and let you go right now so you can get it off your chest. What do you feel about that whole situation? Do you think that she was ass backwards or she was in her rights to say what she said?
First off, I cannot imagine that I got a bunch of dudes mad about the fact that a woman wants to get pregnant by him. Like,
No,
if
it
you
makes
that
sense to
dude,
me.
that's a fucking flex. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she
it makes
wanna
sense
have
to
my
me.
fucking
I'm with
kid.
you. I'm with you. Makes sense to me.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
You
Makes
sure?
sense.
You sure? Okay.
I believe in hypergamy. That's a far better dating
She
strategy.
was 41 years old when she made that comment. God damn it, the clock was ticking or almost done. So of course she's feeling some type of way with this dude, and yeah, she's like, anybody thinks about having fucking kids with somebody they've been with for a minute. That's normal shit.
But
And-
get the
and-
dude. My thing is, get the dude that does it. Don't get the millionaire. Get the 100,000 there. That's all I was saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I got to know. I got a
And
question.
then you talk
Let me
about
ask you
God, bro.
guys,
That's
read
like
them
saying, "Oh my God, bro, I hope the Bengals score this drive." Oh my God, come on. That's like getting mad at her about saying some shit like that. About like, come on, dog. Y'all tripping right now.
The 1994 Bengals playing the Steelers, and if I'm saying some stupid shit like that, like I hope they win, I know it's wrong, but I'm still gonna pray to God, but I know it's not gonna work, right? Sunday, that's a given. We gonna be running up and down all goddamn day long. That's a given. So you see what I mean? It's if you're playing.
How many of us has prayed to God that kicker missed the field goal?
That's the point, though. The point is, but you're missing my point. You're missing my point. You're missing my point. If you're gonna take the religious route, you gotta be religious the whole way. You feel me? Like you're living in sin. Listen, y'all know I'm a heathen. I'm just, like I say, I know the stories. You're living in sin. That is the bottom line. If you're talking to those hardcore zealots, one would argue, well, you're not gonna have a baby until you live right. Which, again, I don't buy them arguments or whatever. I'm just saying, leave the religious part out. You're not a religious person.
DL saying she's just using God to her advantage, whenever she wants what she wants.
Yeah. Please, God, give me $1 billion. Please, God, give me $1 billion.
Rubbing the genie.
Rubbing the genie. And another thing is, just because she wanted a baby in her 40s doesn't mean the man was obligated to give her one. I just want to throw that in there. But Dusto has entered the building, ladies and gentlemen. Dusto, you heard the question, or did you have something to say while Tarus was talking? You seemed like you had something special to say.
Yeah, I missed all these things because now I could be wrong because I missed a lot of the conversation, but it's supposedly she wanted to get pregnant.
She asked God for it too.
No, as if a dude doesn't stick bare meat into a vagina and rock back and forth for 15 to 20 or 30 minutes voluntarily to make this baby.
15 to 20.
Wow. Yeah, I think I
need what you guys are.
Yes.
I'm about 15 right now, so I need some of your.
Some stamina.
I need some of your supplement. I need some of your supplement. What do you take?
Oh Lord. 5.
5 or 500, whatever comes first.
Oh, okay.
Man, maybe he built up some stamina.
I'm not looking forward to being old if that's the case. I'm not looking forward to being old.
So, Dusto, do you think that that mindset was okay to have for her to
just say it?
To ask God, to get pregnant from her boyfriend at the time. You think that mindset was okay for her to have those type of wishes at the time, even before he proposed?
there's always more to us, especially when you bring up celebrities. We don't know what they really got going on and what the real stories really are. We don't know. But I just want a baby. I mean, people are who people are. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. And because they're celebrities don't make anything so much different.
Okay,
But
so
hold on, last thing now. There are desperation. Sometimes people catch feelings and they think that having a baby is gonna put, you know what, they believe in this man, they want him. If I get this baby, it's gonna draw us closer. Remember, women are still emotional. And the man is supposed to be the logical, he's supposed to be the logical one in the head and the decision maker.
Dusto, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Hey, real quick, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go. I wish I could stay. Keep rocking it out, Mandrell. You better, you know what I mean. You better hold it down, Mandrell. Brother Freezy, brother Dusto, brother Bennett. Oh, we ain't signing shits in the house, man. I wish I could stay. Black David, brother Teruse, I see you. We beating y'all ass on Sunday, but I love you like a brother. All right, y'all, I'm out.
yeah, thank you for being here.
Or tie. I think tie is also nice.
Hey, the Bengals are about to make a run. Watch.
So,
Word.
Not Sunday.
Mr. Bennett and Mandrell haven't gone yet, but we're gonna welcome. We ain't signing to the panel. How you doing, my brother?
Salute, shalom, all praises. Hope everybody's doing well. Chilling on the Sabbath.
Did you hear the last question?
Yeah, you asked why would. I'm sorry.
No, that was a Jewish Chinese black man. Okay.
Okay. All right, midget. So you said why would she have a baby out of wedlock, right? That's
do you think she publicized that she asked God to get pregnant from Ime Udoka, and that was a wish of hers? Do you think that mindset was palpable, and was it okay for her to wish for something like that and ask God for something like that even before Ime Udoka proposed to her? You know, before she became his fiance. Do you think that is still okay for her to have those type of wishes?
I think you know, it shows her disrespect towards God, because correct me if I'm wrong, God wants a 2-parent household. And since she got the baby outside of 2-parent household, we know Satan gave it to her, the devil. And it just goes to the point of, you know, there's deadbeat mothers in all shapes and sizes, because if you want to have a baby outside of wedlock, you're a deadbeat. And, you know, thank you for having me.
That's an oh shit moment right there.
We're gonna stay right next to you. We're gonna ask Drelly. Drelly, what you think, man? You heard the question. Give it to us blood raw, man. Pause. Go ahead.
She can wish for what she wants, but I mean, it's the way you move that's going to matter. I tell people all the time, listen, you know, pay very little attention to what someone says, but watch what they do. And it's like you said, like if she is a Christian woman, you know what I'm saying, and she's making wishes like this, I mean, I see. I mean, does she not see the contradiction, the hypocrisy of it all?
Right.
It just lets you know where people value marriage, and how little they think of their own religion, the things that they claim to have faith in, but God loves me and God forgives. So that gives you carte blanche to just do whatever you want to do, move how you want to move, and the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
God is in heaven, like, I ain't give you shit. That was
right.
Satan.
So I mean, it's okay for her to wish for that. Yeah, but you gotta take what's coming with it. I mean, now she doesn't have a boyfriend or anything. Look at that. Now she's a single mother. And the only thing she has to help her to raise that kid is money.
You mean, well,
maybe that's what she wanted from the start. I don't know.
More wealthy than he is. He's also suspended and lost Nia Long. Like,
that doesn't mean that he lost Nia Long, dude. That's not a loss.
What?
It's not a loss. I've seen her in person. Not a loss. She didn't age well.
Yeah, she smoked cigarette too.
When you see her in person, Toros, when you see it in person and the makeup ain't there, bruh, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Friday.
You're going back to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right. You're going back to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and
we always
Friday.
have the most idealistic,
right. And Friday.
Picture in our minds. We don't think
that
about
ain't there no more, Teros.
And the best man. And the best man.
Right. Teros, in real life,
soul food.
The dude is a 6'9" multi-millionaire NBA coach. He'll be all right.
And he played in the NBA too, right?
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
So I don't even know why I'm about to ask Mr. Bennett this question, because I'm pretty sure I know what he about to say. But just for curiosity, Mr. Bennett, what do you feel about Neil Long?
One more thing.
To get pregnant. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drill. I'm sorry.
She let an engagement go on for like 7-8 years, dude. She's not a loss. Just saying.
So why didn't he break it off then?
He's a dude. He's not gonna care as long as he's getting what he wants out of it.
Hold on. We jumping the gun. We're gonna get into that. We jumping the gun right now. Okay, so Mr. Bennett, what you feel about Neil Long asking God, to get pregnant from this guy that she truly loves? I mean, she act like she truly loved this guy.
Does
you know
she?
what I'm saying? What do you feel about her asking God to get pregnant on October 5th, 2011, just like you said, 4 years prior to them getting engaged? What do you think, Mr. Bennett?
Well, again, when you're at that age, she's 41. You make irrational decisions, or you rationalize the decisions that you make. So for her to make that request, all right. Well, but even take the God thing out of it. Again, for any woman, and I did hear something from I Am the Single One earlier. Respectfully, sister, I have no smoke for you. But you said something to the effect of that she wanted to see if she can get pregnant by him before she married him. This is not test driving a car. You talking about bringing a life into this world. That is for life. That is a serious business. You don't test and see if the conditions are right for that. So I mean, it's so again, that decision making is flawed on many levels, and I think a lot of women have gotten hurt by that. So I can't co-sign on the ask, or if she's gonna get with a guy, just take Ime out of it. I mean, certainly we talk about being very intentional about what you want. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna get with a guy that says, look, I'm 41, I'm looking to marry, so because I want kids. Now that may scare away 99% of the guys, but you only need one guy. So if that's what that's another lesson. Again, tell people what you want, and whoever's left, once the dust clears, if that's the person that's there, then maybe that's the person you should be hooking up with. But don't like I said earlier, don't try to put the cart before the horse, thinking that having a baby. I mean, having a baby's never made a relationship better. That's something that just needs to die. Kids will stress your marriage out more than anything, and it doesn't improve a relationship ever. If that's your reason, unless both people are or both on board with the desire to have children, you shouldn't have them. You should be very selective. I'm not going to go all the way to what some other people are saying. If you don't make enough money, you shouldn't have kids. I'm not going to go that far. But I think you need to be very intentional in
I
what
know who you're talking about, Mr. Bennett, but go ahead.
In what you want. I do too.
And what you want, in your desire to have them. And look, as long as you guys are both on board with that, then I say go ahead. But if you're not both on board, or if you're having them just to have them, that's wrong thinking. It's like I said, this is not a game. Kids is not a game, and we need to take parenting with the desire to have children more seriously. And for me, the first step to that is like, do I want to be married? Because if he I made a decision long ago. You can't be the mother of my child unless you can be my wife. If I see anything in you that is not a wifey, then I'm not going to have a child with you, because you can turn that child against me at some time in the future. So if I see that bad sign there, if you can't be a wife, you can't be a mother to my children. So if anything, I'm gonna test that. I'm gonna marry Udoka for 4 years and see if he's worthy enough, and then Then we can talk about the kid thing. But I'm not gonna do the kid thing first. I'm just not.
Hey, Mr. Bennett.
Yeah.
You think Ime told Nia any of that when he was busy not pulling out?
Oh,
you
absolutely
think he told
not.
her any of that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
but
absolutely
again,
not, right?
like I said, but she has to be, or like I said, I think for anyone, but especially her, because she's taken the most risk, because she's the one who has to carry the kid. Women,
She's not. She's Nia Long. She's wealthy as fuck. These are the kind of women who got all the resources in the world to raise a kid on their own if they have to.
Except they don't. And at the end of the day,
I want everyone to remember these lines of arguments when we have other conversations dealing with the low birth rates in this country. Remember this line of conversation, please.
Okay, so hold on.
I'm just saying, but be intentional. I'm saying if that's what you want, state what you want, and let the smoke fly.
What was he stating to her? What he wanted?
It doesn't matter. Well,
it takes two to tango, right, Mr. Bennett? Hold on.
It does. No, yeah. So you're saying he said, yep, I'm with you. I want to marry you.
I come from the men are the leaders. He was whispering all them sweet nothings and telling her everything she wanted to hear, selling dreams like guys normally do. It takes two to tango. So we want to talk about guys being leaders and then all of a sudden get mad at the woman who let the man lead.
Wait.
Not all guys are leaders though, Tarus. You know that.
You don't find that out to the hard way, Mandrell. You know that.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree with Tarus.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Foul on the play.
Tarus is actually kind of right on this one, man. I mean,
flag on the play.
I think we ain't signing. He got something to say. We're gonna hear him out. Go ahead.
See, the thing about it is, I'm tired of all men are the lead. No, ladies, if you're listening, and young ladies, your first leader is your father. The next leader is your husband. Your boyfriend, your fiance is not your leader. The only other leader is your boss who signs your checks. That is it. So I don't care whatever happens in that relationship. If you are not married and you did not take vows in front of whatever you worship plus your family, that man is not your leader. Your leader is your father or your uncle in professional areas. If you have a male boss, then your male boss. But outside of that, your boyfriend is not a leader. He is applying and showing you that he's ready for the job, and you're supposed to do your job and vet and take him back to your father and mother and say, hey, is this person okay? Right? Just because you're in a relationship, don't make that man a leader. That is ridiculous. That's insane.
If he's not a leader, why is she there?
Ladies, if you just listen to this man, please.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with that. If he's not a leader, why are you bending over getting
life does not exist in a vacuum.
Well, the same reason why she stayed engaged with him for 8 years.
From A to B, leadership is displayed and relationships are taken over time. You learn these things the hard way over time. It's just not a light switch. Please stop talking about relationships like it's a light switch. And leadership.
So first of all, if you notice, I said you're taking time to vet. Just like when you get a new position, is something called probationary period. Secondly, when you're in a relationship, you do it how they always done it in all cultures. You take them to your father. When
all cultures.
Before I married my wife, she took me to her father.
Did you smash before or after you met the dad?
After we got married, sir.
Oh, well, hey, man, I congratulate you for doing things the correct religious way. I really want to thank you.
That's
I am not religious, so that standard does not apply to me.
No. But see, the thing about it is you're bringing in sex. What I'm saying is, even if you're having a sexual relationship with her, fine, whatever. I'm not holding everyone to a religious standpoint. But what I'm saying is that until you guys are married, you're not having sex with your leader. You're just having sex with some dude.
Right, but you don't have a man doesn't have to be married. You don't have to be in a marriage to show leadership quality.
No, but he does not.
What?
He is not her leader unless they're married. because
what he's saying, unless
responsibility
she's,
piles both.
I think what we ain't signing is saying it's a different obligation. If
Right.
he's not married to her, he's not obligated financially and all that good stuff to do this.
But hold up, Freezy, wouldn't you agree that the reason why she even agreed and said yes to putting that ring on the finger was because he displayed leadership qualities?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
That probationary period, right? We're saying the same thing.
That's
right?
not. Oh, dog, that's not a probationary period, though.
Yes,
You're
it
already
is.
in an official relationship.
No, we're also talking about
until hold on. Until you sign court documents, legal documents, until you sign legal documents where you're contractually obligated, it's all just whatever.
I'll be sucking
right?
the fun out of this
show me the
love and
paper.
relationship shit.
Show me the papers, bro.
Dang.
The papers, documentation.
I hate to say that we entirely have a point on them because you know why? When it comes down to child support, what legal implication does he have to say he had to pay child support for that child? Since one, he is not married to her, he just engaged. So you cannot force anything on this dude.
It's his kid. How about that?
It's his kid, yeah, but
stuck his meat in there. Come on. Hey, come on now. Red pill is cool enough. It's cool, the women ain't responsible to this and the high value. He stuck his meat in there voluntarily. He wasn't kidnapped. He wasn't forced. It wasn't court-appointed penis.
Well, it might have been, so you don't know.
Stuck it in there. The white man didn't hold the two legs open and say, "Come here, boy, stick it in."
Again, they used to do it back in the old days. I mean, so it might have been.
And he got down on one knee, right? And asked her to marry.
He did, to our knowledge.
So why aren't we asking why he didn't close the deal?
Well, he asked her to marry him. I mean, she has to say yes, and then she sets a date.
Well, we jumping the gun.
Do all the planning and all that.
My bad, Freezy. My bad, Freezy.
Yeah, we jumping the gun. That brings me to my next question. So, as Mr. Bennett pointed out, in May 26th to be exact, 2015, Ime Udoka did propose to Nia Long, and they got engaged. But follow the timeline, guys. 3 years prior, 2012, which was 1 year after she asked God to get pregnant, she made a statement to the press, and I'm going to read it to you guys. On August 2012, Nia Long says, "Marriage is not a priority for her or Ime Udoka." So, a year after she asked God to get pregnant, in 2012, she said marriage is not a priority for her or Ime Udoka. So, does this give any flaws or say anything about her mindset? Is this a more telling sign of their future going forward and how disastrous it was going to be? She said that marriage is not a priority. But in all fairness, she did say it wasn't just not a priority to her, it was not a priority to Ime Udoka as well. But she was the one that made the statement. She made the statement. So Mr. Bennett, I'm going to start out with you. She came out the gate 3 years prior to them getting engaged and said that marriage was not a priority, but yet she still asked God for a baby. What do you feel about this? Mindset?
I can respond next, but go ahead.
Again, wrong order. And like I said, I get the idea of the clock ticking and whatnot. But again, I think marriage should come first before having children. I think that's the best environment to raise them in. And as far as it not being a priority, it obviously showed in their actions since. Because again, in the 7+ years since, no wedding, no commitment, like I said, you can go down to courthouse and get married for $100. So it's not that hard. So again, the marriage was never on the table. So I would say if that's the case, then why get engaged to begin with? Then what's the significance? Why even if it's not a priority for either of you, why even give the engagement ring? What are you trying to signify then? Why not just be partners? You got other folks out there, they never get engaged. They just say, "Oh, this might have been my partner for 30 years." You guys could have did that route also. So again, which is it? you know, or who you trying to impress by the engagement. I don't get it. If it's not a priority to you, then why get engaged in the first place?
I got some pushback here.
Go ahead, Dusto.
Here's the deal. Let's just say I'm a YouTube content creator and I got 500,000 subscribers. And I'm dating a woman who's also a content and she got 1 million subscribers. Does that mean every week I got to say, hey, you know, we had an argument last week and this is how we feel. And today we're going to talk about the religion in our own marriage. You know, I'm going to get her pregnant on the 24th. Or do you get like politicians? You say, hey, yeah, we loves each other. Oh, everything's going fine. And we think that. And then you click off the camera and you start yelling at each other and flipping couches over. Like whatever you got going on. That's ain't nobody's damn business.
I don't understand. What's the question? I don't
understand the relevance. I really don't.
Okay, my point is this.
Bro, she's not
You know, there's celebrities. You don't know what
y'all know Dusto talking realness, man. Y'all let him get it out. Go ahead.
You don't know. There's celebs. You don't know what they really got going on. So we're saying on the 18th, they said in this thing, they could be pitching some political BS, get people to leave them the hell alone, stop asking about their personal life. He's a coach. He got this profile. She got hers. Don't nobody know. He could have been slinging some sour meat and it ain't pleased her in 5 years. Who knows? Is she gonna put that in an article the next time? Oh, actually, the reason was he tried to shoot from the free throw line and he missed and hit the belly button. And we don't.
Well, we do know. Well, what we do know is the other chick.
She didn't have to say anything.
Oh yeah, she ain't right. Number one, the other chick seemed to like it good enough. Number two, she didn't have to say any of this shit. She just said no comment.
There are people who move that way.
She's the one she's the one putting her business out there.
What are you talking about? He's the one who got suspended. What are you talking about?
No, what I'm saying when it comes to
when she said she asked God to have a baby.
The only reason
she didn't have to say anything.
This is even a thing is because he couldn't fucking practice any self-control.
No, I was answering Dusto. I was answering Dusto's question. I agree with you. Reason why this is out is because he could exercise self-control. I agree with that. But what Dusto was saying is like, yeah, we're putting out all these dates and times and everything, but we don't know. It's like, yeah, but we do know she could have just said no comment. And we do, and then he said, well, you know, he might have been slinging sour meat and not pleased her in 5 years. Yeah, but we do know the other chick seemed to like it good enough.
Mandrell, if I was a celeb, I'll say some off-the-wall stuff just for the Dustums.
Oh, there you go. And then when something crazy in your life, and when something crazy in your life happens, they're gonna bring that up, and you got the answer for that.
Hell,
well, I do want to note that
just saying that's all this is. Like this is all speculation. We don't I agree. We don't actually know. We're just connecting dots and making speculation. That's
and
it.
We know the dates.
We know the dates because
exactly. And I want to note that she said all of this publicly before the cheating or whatever. Everything I'm reading right now was stated publicly by her.
Yeah, 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah. So, Black David, what do you think? What do you think about she's saying that marriage was not a priority a year after she asked God for a baby? What you think about that?
I think she sounds completely stupid when you say that in 2012. Then get engaged 3 or 4 years later. Then you have this 7-year-long engagement for what purpose? Like, if you don't want us in your business, do like what other celebrities do. They keep their relationship in private. Why broadcast it to the world? For what? Now you look like the next glorified baby mama on Hollywood Boulevard. Like, for real? Are you serious? If marriage is not so that important, then you didn't have to be engaged in the first place. You gotta tell, come on, let's be real. We're not gonna get married, so let's keep it going like this. I enjoy it, so it is what it is. I'm just saying, according to Mandrell, so the other guy might be liking it too. But my thing is, I don't know why people do this, make a fool of themselves. You put it all out there, now everybody looking at you. What's the point? If marriage not all that important, why you get engaged? If you're not all that important, why be engaged for 7 years? Why repeat Jennifer Huston? She did the same exact thing. You know who? From WWE. You're engaged for X amount of years. All of a sudden, you're no longer engaged. What's wrong? The meat was not good enough to keep you? Like,
That's a
come
good
on,
point.
let's be real. Let's be real, man. This sounds like kindergarten. You're making a fool of yourself. And the next thing you say they're growing. No, you're not growing. You're just a grown ass kid. That's all.
All right, we just heard from the African sensation. But before we go to Tyrus, I want to give a big shout out to the world class TJ from the What We Know podcast and Truth in the chat. We want to give a shout out to those gentlemen. Barbershop Talk.
So
So
AFC North representing tonight.
let's get it.
That's it.
Tyrus, you always give an interesting perspective. What do you think about Neil Long saying publicly that marriage is not a priority, according to her and Ime Udoka, a year after she asked God to get pregnant? What do you think about that, man?
You know, one of the things I love the most about my experience is that in life is that I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes. And so I'm going to put myself in Ime Udoka's shoes for a bit. Yo, I got Nia Long out here doing interviews talking about she want to have my babies. Right now, I'm traveling around the fucking NBA doing my fucking coaching thing. She probably done saw these fucking broads slide up in my DMs, feel some type of way. But when she did an interview, she was like, you know what? You know, marriage right now, you know, it's something it's not a priority. Right now, we're comfortable. My girl, Nia Long, just gave me a public hall pass. The only thing I got to do is not fucking embarrass her in public. What do? I go and embarrass her in fucking public. As a head coach, I'm going, okay, whatever. What should I do? Oh, okay. How about not be sloppy and sleep with someone you work with? Maybe that would probably help not embarrass your fiance in public.
It can only help.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm looking at this whole situation from Ime's perspective, like, bro, you are a one dumb fucking dude. You had everything and you fumbled it all over what? That's why, like, with the Nia Long thing, guys, I have a hard time because I just look at everything from a male perspective, from a leadership perspective, and I go, bro, you had it all and you fucked it up. You got no one to blame but yourself. That's what I think.
Don't disagree with you, bro. But we're talking about two different timelines. We talk about spanning the 10 years at two different timelines.
Bro,
so,
I agree with everything you said. She probably caught this dude already messing around and didn't blast him in
Speculation,
public.
Your Honor. Speculation, Your Honor.
That might be right.
Think about it. Instead of just cutting the engagement off and just leaving, she goes, "Hey, marriage ain't a priority right now."
No, she said that early on, right, Freezy? In that interview, she said
in 2015,
she wanted
correct?
to get pregnant.
Yeah.
She said it wasn't a priority then. So it wasn't something that came later. This was early on.
Right, it was early on.
Yeah, she's 41. That clock's going, man. And she's got at least what she thinks a good.
So why is marriage not a marriage?
Ime selling dreams because he wasn't pulling out either.
It wasn't a priority because I don't know. I mean, let's try defending it using YouTube talk. But we see a man is supposed to spread his seed. Yeah. By nature, a man isn't monogamous.
That's not no.
But a high value man can exercise options. Okay. That's all I got. Feed him to the dust pit.
What do you think? What do you think, Drelly? Do you
about
think what? She said that marriage was not a priority to her, or Ime Udoka. I gotta keep throwing him in there. She mentioned his name. A year after she asked God to get pregnant. What do you think about that mindset? Do you think it's okay for her, for her to just say these things?
Honestly, that tells me there's something else going on there. she may or may not have been she might not have been happy there. She might have been planning their escape route, but because you asked God, one minute, I prayed to God and asked for a baby. Then a year later, marriage isn't really a priority right now. When we know that raising a kid in a father-mother dual household is the strongest environment to raise a child in, you know what I mean? Then you fast forward to present day, they still haven't jumped the broom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was going on in that place, but it wasn't anything streamlined. It wasn't anything stable. It doesn't look like it. I mean, the guy did embarrass her in public by getting caught. How he got caught, I still don't know. But it appears to be the straw that broke the camel's back. But it was an unstable situation, given the evidence that's presented.
We ain't signing. Have you been listening, my brother?
I'm here. Yeah.
What do you
So
think?
this is my response. So we come from a culture where it's just okay to have children out of wedlock, right? We use men interchangeably. So that's why we have terms like father figure, right? But there's no real common term like mother figure. Or we have terms like go to the Boys and Girls Club to get a male role model, but we don't commonly have those words female role model or male influence, right? We have all these kind of interchangeable makeshift tools to kind of replace the man, because in Black America, ADOS communities, right, just father figure is just not seen as essential. Nice to have, but it's not essential for a child's well-being, and we display that with the 70% of children born out of wedlock. So at the end of the day, she holds what everybody else holds. I believe she's college educated, feminist, right? Where you don't need a man, right? Boss chick kind of energy. So that's where she's coming from, and that's where a lot of our women come from, and that's just kind of culture, right? Black men are just interchangeable, and that's how I see it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, but how is any of that true? She stayed in the relationship. If any of that was true, she would have cut him off a decade ago.
No, you're missing my point.
No. You said strong, independent. I don't need a man. She would have cut him off years ago.
No, I'm saying that's her ideology, because if you were more interdependent, right, more reliant, then you would be in a marriage before you have your children.
Not necessarily. You don't have to be in a marriage in order to be in a relationship, correct?
Well, like I said before, like we're not disagreeing. That's the culture we come from, where you don't have to be. Majority of us see having children as something you can do outside of marriage. Again, we're not disagreeing, because that's what we practice as a culture.
And let's also acknowledge that this was a high-profile relationship. She's a well-known actress. He's an ex-NBA player, head coach. He eventually became head coach of the Boston Celtics. And maybe she felt like, this is my take. I haven't really given my take this evening. I just want you guys to talk. But I think that maybe she felt like pertaining to her career.
What career?
Well, her being an actress.
Is she?
Hollywood and
last time she been in anything?
Mandrell, really?
Mandrell, you ain't right.
They're about to add the best man final
chapter. It's a fact.
Residual income.
She has a new movie coming out this month.
Oh, for the first time in 15 years. Good job.
Mandrell, acting pays residual income.
I know it does. Look, my sister's in it. I know what it is. But she ain't been in that chick ain't been in the project. That chick ain't been in a project in 20 years. She's a well-known actress. Has-been.
Has-beens get paid.
Yeah,
that's not the point, Dusto. That's not the point. That's not the point, Dusto.
Mandrell, I'd like to fill out that application for has-been in acting.
I'm sure you would apply for that job.
Yeah,
but
she's
I'm just saying, let's not make her out to be something that she's not.
You
That's all
know,
I'm saying.
you know who she is,
Well,
though.
Taru says she got more money than Ime. So
She might. I mean, because they get the inside track on all them investment opportunities and shit like that over there in Hollywood. They do. So she might.
Mandrell, you're proving the point.
What?
You're proving the point.
What point? You can't listen. We all know it's still not. No. It's not smart. Period. To raise a child with one parent.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
She's not. What are y'all talking about? She's not raising the child by herself.
Who's she raising it with?
With Ime.
Oh, they're still together?
Bro, hell no.
They okay.
Oh, they got a co-parent. I get you.
Yeah,
they got a co-parent. Got it.
Even before they got
broke
up. They were a relationship. They were in a thing. They were a thing. So they were already raising the child together. Like, stop talking like she's just been doing this solo dolo, man. Like, dang.
I mean, only time will tell with that. I hope that's the case. That the Toros is saying. I hope it's the case. I hope it's at least the scenario that Toros is giving. I hope it is, because that's better than nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? To co-parent, even if you're not living together, to co-parent, that's better than nothing.
Okay, so we about to get into the meat and potatoes. After this question, I'm going to ask the big question: who's to blame? We're gonna go around the panel, but this is the last question before that question. Okay, so we know by covering this story this evening, May 26, 2015, Ime Udoka and Nia Long, they confirmed their engagement, right? But I want y'all to slide with me all the way forward to 2020.
You preach it now. You got your sermon voice on now.
2020, I'm going to read another publication by Nia Long herself, right? She said, December 6, 2020, 5 years after they got engaged. And we all know for them to get engaged, Ime Udoka had to propose to her, right? In December 6, 2020, 5 years later, Nia Long reveals she and fiance Ime Udoka might never get married. Now, we all know this was before the infidelity got exposed. This was before he supposedly cheated, right? This is before we knew anything about him cheating or anything. 2020, she said, let me repeat it again because you guys might not have
the Celtics then.
Right. Nia Long reveals she and fiance Ime Udoka might never get married in 2020. Now, I do want to note, she is the only one coming public with all of this. We said this and she's saying this. But Dusto,
just like Jada.
Dusto, what do you think about 5 years later after this dude got on one knee and proposed to Nia Long and gave her the engagement ring and they confirmed their engagement? 5 years later, she comes out and says that she reveals that they might not never get married. So what do you think? What do you think is the truth behind all of this when she revealed this in 2020?
The truth is, don't know. Don't really care that much. But do we really know what's going on? Anybody know Nia Long and been to her house? Anybody know this dude and how many vaginas he's sticking out here in the street? No. We don't.
Okay. Thank you, Dusto. I'm just
hold on. Other thing is, if this dude was so perfect and she's some modern dusty woman, because he's a saint and can't do no wrong. It's always the woman's fault. Why did the dude stick his meat in chicks at his own damn job and get caught?
Yep. Oh, you jumping the gun, Dusto. We ain't got there yet. Bro. We timelining right now. We timelining, okay? You jumping the gun. We in 2020 right now. Not 2022. 2020, she revealed that they might not never get married in 2020, 2 years ago. Okay, so Mr. Bennett, what do you think about this? I mean, the dude got on one knee in 2012. She said she didn't think marriage was even a priority, but obviously Ime Udoka felt it important to get on one knee in 2015. Don't you think? So in 2020, she said they might not never get married. What do you think about this timeline? Is it peculiar? Do you see something here?
No, it's simply just a validation of the beginning. It's like when people say no-ish Sherlock. I mean, it's like it's not that hard. You know, I judge people by their actions. And like I said earlier, to me, if I'm going to give you a ring, I say I want to marry you, I'm going to be intentional in when I want, and I want to marry you as soon as possible. I would have married my wife. Like I could have married my wife literally the day I said, look, let's just go out in the courthouse and let's just do this and be done with it. I didn't, but her mom wanted the wedding and all that extra planning, but I could have married her just like that. I really had no reason to waste time on that. So it's 5 years later and you're still engaged. If that was my daughter, if that was somebody, I would have stepped up to him a long time ago and be like, look, are you guys serious or not? Or I'm gonna step to the guy and say, look, what is your intention towards my daughter? And you gave the ring, are you looking to do this? Or you guys just trying to just hang on to something just to hang on because you're comfortable with each other, but you really don't want to go ahead with the commitment? I would have a conversation, certainly with him, in regards to what is your long-term plan and your intention. He's preaching tonight. He got that preacher voice on tonight. But you wouldn't be telling me anything that I didn't already know. If she came to me and said, we may not get married or whatever, it's like, that's breaking news. I mean, you've been demonstrating that you're not intentional by carrying it on for this length of time. At least that's what I would have said.
We ain't signing. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so in 2020, 5 years after they got engaged, she revealed that they might not never get married. Is that timeline? 5 years after they got engaged, she reveals that they might not ever get married. Does that tell you anything about her, or is there anything in that timeline that sticks out to you?
Well, for me, I guess what sticks out, she didn't want to waste all that money on her graduation. Shout out to Tia Mary. First and foremost. So shout out to her, right? She was just like, you know what? I don't even need school on these schools. I'm gonna graduate right now. Fuck this marriage. So, and secondly, I mean, I don't. How I view it is that I think he wanted to lock it down. She was kind of like iffy because she likes to be in the win. I don't think she ever really wanted to get married in the first place. Because correct me if I'm wrong, she asked for a baby first without marriage. He proposed, and then later on, she's like, well, I don't know if marriage is a priority, things like that. Because, I mean, she's a career woman, right? And, and we all collectively kind of agree that, she hasn't really been in much. So I think, there's focus there. He's traveling, this and that. And, graduations are expensive. So, I mean, she was like, fuck that. I don't need the graduation. That's
a good point. That's a good point.
Yo.
Mandrell, what do you think, man? She said in 2020, 5 years after the dude got on one knee, man, we might not never get married. What you think about that?
I think I would have asked for that ring back.
Me
being in those shoes,
$100,000. But go ahead.
Me being in those shoes, I would have asked for a ring back. I'm not proposing to someone and being engaged for 2 years, let alone 5. Yep. I don't see the point in that. I just don't. I don't understand. Why would you? Now again, it tells me that there's more going on in that situation than we know. I don't know what that could be. You know what I'm saying? But there's more going on there than we know. And maybe we'll find out in her tell-all book when she eventually writes it. Because that's what washed up people do. They write tell-all books and spill the beans. I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna scan YouTube and see what the gossip is about it. I'm not gonna buy that book, nor am I gonna read it. I'm just being real. I never read tell-all books. I don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying? I think you should keep your mouth shut. But since you're putting it out, I'll listen to what people have to say about it and just to find out what's in it. But I'm not going to give you any of my money. You know, but me, I would, if I was the guy, I would have asked for the ring back so I can take and get my money back for it. 5 years, dude, that's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on there, but that tells me there's issues there, man. You know what I mean? Whatever those were, I don't know, but that tells me there's a problem that has her dragging her feet. Or maybe she's the type of chick that's like infatuated with being engaged or something. I don't know. But I would have definitely asked for that ring back if it was me and I was the guy in that situation.
Mandrell said he need that money back.
Mm.
We're gonna save Tyrese. We're gonna save Tyrese for last.
Run me my coins.
What you say? Run me my coins.
Yeah.
But he was still hitting it, bro. Raw.
So what? So she don't want to get married. That's cool. That mean they gotta walk around with dry meat.
No, he had extremely good meat.
That's facts, because you talking like Nia Long was a virgin before she met him. Come on, man. Everybody done had that.
Just saying.
Yeah, we know Tay Diggs had it in best man, but listen, we're gonna save Tyrese for last because listen, this is strategically planned. Okay, we're gonna go to Black David right now. Black David, what do you think, man? 2020, she said they might not ever get married. This 5 years after Ime Udoka got on one knee.
Interesting question. For Wednesday to say she won't wait too much money for graduation, that is a good point. For Mandrell to say give back the ring, the way I'm looking at it, I think she was trying to prove a point who were the pet in the relationship. If this was going to be, because let's go to the timeline. 2011, she prayed to get a baby. 2012, marriage not that important. 2015, they got engaged. 2020, she came back again. I don't think we ever gonna get married. She trying to show that, you know what, I run the relationship, not him. Even though he's meaty kind of sour, I still need it, but it's better than having a dildo. But what want me to say? And the way Mandrell said, she might put out an all-tale book since a lot of washed up has been actors or actresses do that. May not be in some extra juice. I don't know. The way I'm looking at it, she making the guy look weak. If that was the case.
That's a good point.
Let's be honest here. If you made this, I don't think, you know what? I can't say she made him to propose to her. But what you did is that it's one thing he proposed, and 5 years later, you made him look weak, saying that you're never going to get married. You could have just said, you just caught off the engagement. Instead of saying you're never going to get married. You just kind of like, you took a needle and flattened his tire. So any years after that, you get engaged, everybody looking at it. So what the point y'all being engaged? To you the placeholder? To who is the placeholder? She or him? Well, I'm looking at it right now because it seemed kind of iffy.
Well, she the one doing all the talking, Black David. So it looked like she.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. It making him look weak because he didn't respond to that. He just okay. And according to Tyrese, yo, I got Nia Long. I'm a simp for life.
Black David. You know who else had Nia Long? Harvey Weinstein.
So
you just hit me with the bop gun just then.
now, if that's the case, according to We Ain't Signing, that means she was the Hollywood post office. She collect all the mail and never send it to send us. I'm just saying. That's a lot of mail to be taken. Who the postmaster?
Okay, so listen, Tyrese, listen. Before I ask you this question, I gotta be fair, right? Nia Long said that she said that it wasn't just her, but it was also Ime Udoka might never get married. One thing I'm noticing, she's always including Ime Udoka in her publications or whatnot, right? But I do want before you answer this question, because I know you're gonna throw a monkey wrench. I want to read this. I want to read this in addition to why she said they might never get married. Quote unquote by Nia Long. I understand the religious aspects of marriage. That is beautiful, and it's fantastical, and it's dreamy, and it's every girl's fantasy to have that moment. But I don't know that I need that. The mother of two said. Long added, love is complicated, and then you start a marriage, which I've never been married, and there's a reason for that because I don't know that I need to say I do to prove to you that I love you. But also, what does marriage really mean? That you own me now and I own you? I don't get that part. Now that we have more clarification on why Nia Long said in 2020 they might not ever get married. She clarified she don't want to be owned. What do you think about this, Tyrone? Do you think in 2020 she said all of this 5 years after Ime Udoka got on one knee? Do you think do you see anything problematic in that whole timeline?
I think it's unfair you left out all that context.
I would say the same thing.
All the rest
He's been doing it all night. This was strategic. He's been building this all night.
So again,
he's doing that chess move right now.
Maybe it's just me because I can put myself in other people's shoes. But all I heard when Freezy was speaking the events that happened was, damn, Nia Long just came to a harsh reality during a pandemic that her man will never be husband material. Because let me remind you what was going on in 2020, folks. It was a pandemic. Everybody was stuck in the house with each other. You don't think she kept on hearing bing, 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 2, 3 a.m.? He was, by the way, with the Philadelphia 76ers that year before being with the Brooklyn Nets. He didn't get to the Celtics to 2021, which means the moment he got to the Celtics was the moment he started smashing homegirl. That's how quick this was moving, which means in 2020, during the pandemic, she realized, oh, crap, I need to figure out what the new normal is because this man is never going to commit to me. And so I'm looking at this going like, this is a reverse Kyrie. Real life has smacked her in the face and she don't know how to process it.
Wait. You said he wait. I don't think you heard. I don't think you got the timeline right, Tyrone.
You said 2020, right?
Yeah, but listen. She said she doesn't see the need to get married. She said she feels like, why does she have to say I do to prove her love for her significant other? And she also said,
think about all the conversations that we don't know about. Put yourself in Ime's shoes right now. You proposed to her, right? Now put yourself in her shoes.
Rebut you because I know he's some on his mind right now. Go ahead, Tyrone.
Right. You good. Not bad.
You're in Ime's shoes right now. Okay. Fuck, man. Nia done caught my shit in the DMs again. And this chick said the nude. Okay. Look, she want to break up. Look, babe. I know. But you know you're the only one for me. I just got to figure this out. This traveling, this NBA shit, it's just, I'm always on the road. You're an actress, so you're always doing shoots in exotic places. We just got to figure this out. Y'all know there's a whole bunch of variants of that in a multiverse going on as we speak. So stop pretending like we got to stop acting like she's not buying what Ime's selling. Because right now, he engaged to her, 2015, right?
Yes, sir.
That means he been selling the dream and having her on a leash for how many years? Because that's on him to close the deal. We as men, leaders, we're closers. We close the deal.
He did
Why
close the
are
deal.
none of you guys asking why he
But
didn't close the deal?
Because he did. He
No,
got on
he
one.
didn't.
Let me explain to Ruth. He got on one knee, asked her to marry him. Now, it's on her to set that date and get all that done. If that's what she wants to do, like Mr. Bennett said. Here's the thing.
When I got married, I set the date, bro. The whole marriage, you got to do the
think
marriage
the marriage
license
should
and
be
all
But
that.
here's the thing. It's like Mr. Bennett said. It's $100 to get married. Go to the courthouse if this is what you want to do. Get it over with. And I'm all for that. I don't need the pageantry and the wedding and the rickety. No, let's just get this. Let's get the legal stuff done. You want to do that? We can drag our feet with that. But let's get this paperwork done so we can file these taxes the way we need to. You know what I'm saying? And the commitment. Like, you could be on the other side of the planet. You're in the military, same as I am. You've been deployed, same as I have. You can be on the other side of the planet and be 1,000% committed to your spouse. You can. If you're committed, you're committed. Doesn't matter if you're on fucking Mars. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter where you are. Like I said, this situation tells me there was more going on in there than she's saying, and he definitely got his mouth shut.
Certified thought, bro. Like, damn.
It might have been her too. What I'm saying, it might have been her too. We don't know.
It could be.
No,
You know
why
what I'm saying? Because
But only one dude got caught smashing the tour guide. Okay.
No, I'm saying, why are we drawing the conclusions? And one, why are they obligated? If she'd have to say, excuse me, on July 21st, he stuck his meat in the cleaning lady's vagina for 14.3 minutes. Here's the used condom, dug it out the trash can. Lieutenant Kane swiped the DNA. Why do they have to it's their marriage or their relationship? They ain't supposed to be talking about it, put it in the public. No way.
well, then what? So she should keep her mouth shut.
She doing all that.
She's the one doing all the talking.
What are y'all talking? First,
Just
off,
like
she's an
just
actress.
like
First off,
Jada.
She's an actress.
They do it all the
Of
talking.
course, they're going to be
Bring up Jada
asking
and
her.
Will.
Of course, people are going to be
Please, no.
asking an actress questions in public. And second off, of course, they're going to ask Nia Long, because you know why people found out to begin with? It was a Boston Celtics employee. If she would have worked at Walmart, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because the Celtics would have no obligation to tell Nia. But because he was smashing somebody who also worked there, who also did remember, this lady also helped move Nia along. So there's a professional relationship there. So from a business perspective, yes. Like, come on, this is obvious.
Mandrell, how do you blast a woman for being messy when a dude's the one that created the damn mess?
Here's the thing. She went together. How long were they together, Freezy? Total.
I think they were together since 2010 or 11 or something like
Yeah,
that. So,
okay. Yeah, nigga. 12 going on 13 years. She know what kind of dude she got. You know what I'm saying?
I'll agree with that.
She know what kind of 12 going on 13 years. She know what kind of good dude she got.
Right, but this is the first time he done did some shit in public, correct?
No, here's the
Can
thing.
we
Here's the
agree to
thing.
that? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, here's
come
the
on,
here's where I agree with
Come on.
here's where I agree with you, Tarus. On two fronts, I agree with you. One, it's the first time he did something that blew up in the public and he embarrassed her. Yes. Number two, I didn't know that chick was that close to both of them. Like, he did this shit in her face. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, even if they agreed to him seeing other women, I seriously doubt she would have been okay with a broad she got to see all the time.
Chick that help you buy the fucking
That's what I'm
house.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I seriously doubt
man.
it'd be with a chick. She got
That's
she
nasty.
got a look in her
That's
face.
nasty.
Yeah,
100%.
I seriously doubt it'd have been like that. And so he rubbed her nose in it. That's number one. Number two, he made it got public. So that's why I agree with Tarus on, man. Yeah, he was all the way wrong with that now. All the way.
Perfect example, because we had this conversation, guys. Perfect example. I said the same thing about Young Jock. Bro, you had the hall pass, but guess what you did? You got a whole chick knocked up. There's nothing that your wife can do that is more embarrassing than what you just did. because all you had to do was wear a condom. And guess
That's
what
not
Ime
true.
had to do?
That's not
All
true.
Ime had to do was not
in
mess
the
with a
first
girl,
place.
was not mess with a staffer. That's all he had to do.
What were you saying? We ain't signing? Oh, okay, I thought we ain't signing was talking, but
No. I said that's not true. She can do something worse. She can have a baby from another man and tell her it's yours.
But she didn't. You keep saying what if, and I'm talking about what actually happened. See, this is the problem with a lot of you guys. You got to come up with all sort of multiverses and excuses instead of dealing with the facts of the reality of what happened right fucking now. Jesus.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I am dealing with the reality of what happened now, right? I am.
So that's
citing
not
facts,
Ime's kid.
figures,
Are
and
you saying that's not Ime? That's not Ime's kid?
Oh no! I was speaking with the young jock situation with with Ime, right? I'm just saying with Ime, the situation is as follows. Well, I didn't even really speak on him. He asked me, "Was it right to have kids out of wedlock?" And I said, "No, that's what I spoke on, actually." So I didn't even really speak to him. This whole conversation.
okay, so
Okay.
that brings us to the final question, guys. Y'all know what I'm about to ask y'all. But before I ask this final question, let's revisit the timeline real quick. In 2011, she asked God for a baby. 2012, she what was 2012? 2012, she I forgot. 2012. Let me go back down.
She said, getting married is not that serious.
Yeah, it's not a priority. Right.
Not
Thank you,
priority.
back, David. And then 2015, Ime Udoka, he proposed to her. He did the manly thing and proposed to her. He wanted to start a family, legally, and they got engaged. In 5 years later, 2020, she said that they might not ever get married. So in 2021, just like Taru said, he got caught cheating, basically. No, that was 22. 22. September 21st, 22, Ime Udoka faces suspension from Celtics after alleged affair with staffer. So 2 years later, after 2020, he got caught cheating. So, and then not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, or a few days ago, she announced the split. So, being that they're split right now, being that they're broken up, who ultimately would you blame? In the long run, who would you blame for them ending up in the place they're at now? Split, broken up. Oh, we got my boy Hink in the building. Hink, have you been tuning in to the show?
What up? What's up now? I just got up here, though.
Okay. So let me go over it again. 2011. I was just playing, Mr. Bennett. So Black David, ultimately, who do you blame for how they ended up with being broke up and she announced the split?
If I want to be logical and pick a time who to be blamed, I'm blaming Ime Udoka sour meat. He caused all this trouble in the first place. Because one, she made you look weak throughout all the timeline. Right off the bat. She prayed for a baby. A year later, she said marriage is not that important as a priority. 2015, you proposed. 2020, she make you weak again. So you may never get married. It was like, just like Taru said, maybe she saw the phone to hear all the ding, 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 ding during the pandemic. They kind of like expose your ass. And all you have to do is not mess up, and you mess up. You gave your sour meat to your show, your gopher. Get me my ticket. Give me my ticket for my wife. Move my wife. How will you do? It's like saying you screw your butler. How you do that? I don't know. Were you watching Unapologetic when he did the same thing with his nanny? I'm just saying. But they're more cuter than the nanny, so I'll give you a thumbs up on that one. But still, how you do that? And you had Nia Long. The Nia Long is not like you to be in the past, but you still had Nia Long, the name. You had somewhat of a franchise. How you screw that one? I really don't know. I blame it on him.
Okay, so Black David blamed the man. So
Yeah, can I go
yeah,
next?
okay,
I need to
okay.
head out.
We ain't signing. I got to dress it up for you. I'm gonna dress it up for everybody.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, from 2011 to now, Nia Long publicly told everybody, married. She really don't give a damn about getting married. The dude did the right thing in 2015 and got on one knee, right? But even after that, she revealed that they might not ever get married, and she stated why. She doesn't feel like you need to get married to prove your love, and she doesn't want to be owned. After that, he throwed his hands up and got caught cheating. What do you think about it? Who do you blame for their breakup? We ain't signed.
Well, I'm gonna blame Ime for this because number one, Nia Long does not owe him any loyalty. They didn't take vows, right? They didn't take vows for better or for worse. So she doesn't owe him any kind of loyalty. Shout out to Vanessa Bryant, Kobe the GOAT, right? Because she held it down even in that debacle, right? Because she still gave him his loyalty. Nia Long situation, right? She didn't take vows. Number two, you're putting her in a really bad situation. You sleep with your boss's boss wife, right? Because that's why he's blackballed in the sports entertainment world. She's a part of that she's a part of the entertainment world. So that's a little bit egg on her face, even if she is washed up, she still, need connections and working with people because it's networking. So Ime really put her in a really, really fucked up position. On top of that, she doesn't owe him any loyalty because they never agreed to get married, right? So she doesn't owe him better for worse. So at the end of the day, all things considering, and him, just being messy in general, I will put 100% of the blame on him.
Well, just to throw it in there, they did agree to get married when she accepted the ring in 2015.
No, but no documentation was signed, and so from a physical standpoint, no documentation was signed.
You're saying they didn't get married, but they did agree to get married. They just never got married. That's what
but even
no
then,
representation without documentation.
Right, no representation without documentation. Goddamn right. And then on top of that, even from a spiritual, no oaths was taken in front of their families and in front of God because she says she's Christian, right? So the oath wasn't taken either. So in both ways, she doesn't owe him loyalty.
Okay. Well, I'll go for that. Okay, so Hank, 2011, man. 2011, she prayed for a baby. This was 4 years before he even proposed to her. She wanted a baby before she even wanted to get married. Nia Long. 2015, Ime Udoka did the right thing and got on his knees and proposed to Nia Long. In 2020, she came out publicly and said they might not ever get married. And she gave her reasons why. She said she don't want to be owned and she doesn't feel like she has to say I do to prove her love. 2022, as we know, he got caught cheating. He throwed his hands up after all that. He got caught cheating with the lady at the Celtics organization. Who do you blame for their split? Ultimately, why they didn't make it?
I blame her.
Can you give a reasoning, good sir?
She didn't require marriage. She didn't require marriage. She required everything else. She required playing house by having a baby out of wedlock. She required hanging out with him, even though marriage wasn't even required. So she wanted everything about a wife, but actually being a wife. So why is this man in trouble, or why is you consider him cheating? Because if I'm not committed to you, we're not married, then I didn't cheat. That's all you are is just dating. That's all you are. Even if I'm engaged to you, we're still just dating. It's not. We know marriages get called off all the time. Women call marriages off all the time, and it never goes through. So, I mean,
that's a fair point.
I disagree.
Fair point.
I blame both of them.
Well, who's gonna go to you next, Dusto? Anyway, go ahead.
Fair point. Fair point.
But how can you blame him if she never required it? It was never a requirement for her. She was okay with just being a baby mama. So you get treated like a baby mama get treated.
Hold on. Did she not do that on Affecting the Bel Air too? The same type of character, just trying to be the baby mama?
Oh, I don't know about that, Dave. I don't know about that.
I'm trying to check right now. Is that the same thing she played?
Oh,
Listen,
that's 20 years ago, bro.
Hey, I just want to acknowledge Hink just threw an interesting caveat, and I liked his reasoning. But we're gonna go on over to Dusto because seems like Dusto on the edge of his seat. What do you got to say, Dusto, about this whole timeline? Who do you blame for them ending up in a split, broken up, after all of this information that we gathered this evening?
I think still as a man, we still are the initiator and the leader. He stuck his meat in there. So how did the kid get there? Probably because he stuck his meat in there and said, "Raw." That's probably how the kid got in there. Why didn't they get married? Probably because his meat not only was in there, but it was over there 2 weeks ago, out there in the streets, and then in the back of the strip club in the alley somewhere. You got to give a woman something to marry. Then you can say, "Yeah, I want marriage," and then she's supposed to. Then if she gets out of line, you Uber her back to the streets.
But Dusto, she didn't care about marriage.
I wonder why. No, why she was still there? Yeah, it's on her. Not blame them both.
She gave her a reason.
He didn't get caught cheating until 2022, right?
Right. You think bro? If she would,
we don't know. We don't know. We know what we do know. We know in 2022 he was caught.
No, let's just be real. Understanding the woman.
If that's the case,
hold on, I'll break it down. Okay. Do you really think over years and years he didn't get caught by her cheating? He got caught by the streets or whatever. You think
if he used the condom, it's not cheating.
Huh?
If he used the condom, it's not cheating.
What in the hell are you
Y'all
talking
are
about?
saying some wild shit, man. Oh my God.
Trolling. Please tell me you're trolling. Trolls attack.
No, I'm just saying, man. Condoms don't count. Look. Everybody knows who went to a big party school. Condoms don't count.
Well, Dusto,
y'all hear this? I never had sex before marriage guy talking right now. Damn, bro, you was getting it in.
Bro, I got in the super dustathon earlier today. That's worse. What you just said is worse than the dustathon I had today.
I agree with you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm tripping.
But Dusto,
go ahead.
Even if what you said is true, why did she walk out then? Why did she walk out the first time he's supposed to get caught cheating?
Both of them dusted. Both of them, they suck. It was a mess. But I'm starting with him because there's a child in play. He stuck his meat in there. And you got caught publicly sticking your meat somewhere that it wasn't supposed to go, that messed up your own damn money and reputation.
He got snitched on. He didn't get caught. They snitched on him. Let me say this.
His meat shouldn't have been in there.
Let me say, how many times people had work relationships, ain't nobody ever made it a public thing.
Oh, hold on. Hey, did you just say he didn't get caught, he got snitched? So somebody
was already in a relationship. What are you like? Damn,
Toro. Toro. Remember what you said last time.
Somebody that's not his fault.
If somebody separated,
really?
That's what you said. You said if somebody separated, they stick around. They're not
separated.
They're married. If you're married, even if you're separated, you're still married. This man is not even legally married, but you're gonna say he cheated. How does that work, dog?
I mean, that's a fair point, man. That is a fair point.
You're right, man. So tell you what, the next girlfriend you meet, go and send her up down to Florida. Let me try it out because it don't mean nothing. Let me go and try them walls out for a bit.
You won't better do that because she requires marriage.
No, but y'all ain't married yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen to what I'm saying.
We're going to try them all.
No, Dusto. I said it from the beginning. She never required marriage. It was never a requirement. So when you not require marriage, I'm going to automatically see you as a hoe, and I'm going to disrespect you.
They were engaged. What are you talking about?
I'm
She
going to treat
required
you
marriage.
Listen to her. She said, I want the baby. The baby was more important to have a child.
Wait, hold up, bro. So
Why
as a man, you're not going to show respect
I'm
to a
about to
woman
turn into a
unless
victim.
it got a ring?
You are a hoe.
Why are y'all doing
and I
this
will
to me?
treat you
I'm a
as
victim
such.
now.
You are a hoe now, and I will treat you as such.
I'm a victim.
So we're gonna go to we're gonna go to Tyrus. Tyrus. So Nia Long, she didn't want to get married. It turns out, basically, he got on one knee. He did his due diligence in 2015. He bought her a ring, probably cost $200,000. In 2020, she said she didn't want. They might not ever get married, and she gave her reasoning. She said that she don't want to be owned. She don't feel like she need to be owned by nobody. And then in 2022, he got caught up getting some ass. Who do you think is the reason for why they ended up at the point they're at now, ultimately?
It's the white man's fault.
Ime Udoka. And here's why. Y'all keep saying cheating like it was some randos. Y'all men need to understand the difference between the smash and goes and having a whole affair, because that's what he got busted on, having a whole affair. That means he was living a whole second life. And so from the perspective of a woman, that's not just some random now. That's some girl that you telling her deep secrets that you're not telling her. You get what I mean? So, and that's Ime decided to make that decision. He couldn't just keep it as some randos. By the way, first and foremost, you are the head coach of the fucking Boston Celtics. You better damn white, black, Latino, you got a standard to uphold, which means you shouldn't be smashing your fucking people in your chain of command. That's no matter what corporation you work for. You are literally, by definition, a public figure. Act like you a fucking man with some goddamn responsibility. No. I let you say that fucking blame the woman shit. Now I'm gonna say some real man shit.
No, you saying that shit.
Now,
But I
check this out, bro.
I got you.
If you want to be a man and you want to be a fucking leader, and you better have the resume that says you get demanded and treated like a leader, like a husband. And guess what, man?
He was a husband.
Engage into a woman and then want to play around and shit like that. And then I guarantee you this dude was like, yo, man, babe, I don't know if this is right now. All he had to do, Freezy, all he had to do, don't smash your coworker. Go smash some random from Best Buy or Walmart or Chick-fil-A or some shit. And then the Celtics don't have any business putting your personal shit out there. But because you work for the corporation,
it's still considered cheating.
So you're saying he should have cheated better?
The reason it's public is because he's the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
But you're going to sit there and say, since she's a co-worker, that's bad. That's bad. It's still all bad.
No.
Hink and I need to have this conversation. Hink, I want you to imagine yourself as the head coach of the Boston Celtics. Are you smashing your tour guide? Yes or no?
If I'm married, no.
So even if you got a fiance, you still going to smash? You're going to smash your coworker?
Dude, we had a president smash his secretary.
I'm not asking about the president. I'm asking about you as the head coach.
Bullshit. He's not married. I don't recognize him.
What about?
Yeah, we did.
Answer what you would do.
We did.
We did
have a president smash the secretary.
Shout out to Monica Lewinsky.
We did.
My man just tried to blame Trump. Bro, what would
shout out to Monica Lewinsky and the cigar that's went up there. Shout out
to the clip. Hey, everybody, that was a clip. That was gonna be a
Bro, we had a president sleep with a secretary. Yeah, that's the clip.
Shout out.
What is?
Hold on.
Right.
Shout out to Monica. Shout out.
Shout out people in
Shout out to
athletics
Monica
to a higher
Lewinsky
standard than the
and the
politicians.
cigar
That's pathetic,
that went
by the way.
up there, and a double shout out to Bill Clinton, my nigga.
Greatest president ever.
Oh my God.
He's not the first.
William Bill Clinton, greatest president
He's not the
ever.
first, and he won't be the last to do so.
Jefferson.
No.
He made a good point. You know,
No, William Jefferson Clinton.
Yeah, there you go, William Jefferson Clinton. Yes, it is.
Shout out to shout out to William Jefferson Clinton. Shout out to the cigar, and shout out to Monica Lewinsky.
Andrew Jackson got some biracial children out there. Still got lineage on the biracial.
And don't forget the blue dress.
Oh, and shout out to the blue dress. Yep, the blue dress, the cigar, the whiskey, and Clinton. Shout out to them all.
Yeah, I think JFK smashed Marilyn Monroe.
Ain't no thing in it. Ain't no thing in it. That's both of them. Yeah, both of them. Robert and John F. Kennedy did. She made both the brothers, man. Like she slept with like all the JFKs. Like it was crazy, man.
Yo, you know how many executives literally get fired for doing the same shit Ime did,
That's
and
not
all he
true.
did was get suspended?
That's not true.
I would agree with you. Hey.
That is absolutely true.
I would agree with you.
We had a whole U.S. senator from Minnesota resign over a photo of him being
we coming to you next, Mr. Bennett.
All right.
They usually resign.
I just wanted to address through it. So I agree with you, but again, the difference is you don't even know about a lot of that stuff where it's under the table. It never makes news. That's
because guess what? We got a whole bunch of athletes and people in the athletic world who are basically a bunch of athletic version of rappers. All they do is self-snitch on themselves. Like, bro, all you had to do was pick somebody who didn't work in the organization. That's all you had to do. And you couldn't do that.
So are you just upset because he slept with a co-worker?
Yes,
so like
because now he's suspended. Because a great head coach got suspended.
Hold on, Joel.
Are you not
your
upset
morals
about
to
that?
me? You okay with him smashing a Taco Bell chick, but he can't smash his coworker?
Bro, no, I'm saying if
That's
you're
what you
going
just
to
said.
do dirt, can you do it correctly? If you're going to choose to do dirt, can you at least do it correctly?
How about you just not do it at all? If that's your wife.
I said that. What are you talking about?
You said he could sleep with the Taco Bell lady. Or the restaurant lady.
No,
there you go, acting like a little female. You need to stop this, man.
Cheating is stupid. But cheating
Man,
and messing up your money is
come on back, Torres. Come on back, bro.
Get your boy. Get your boy.
Come on back, bro.
Oh, you can best believe Tarus is coming
why
back.
are you running our blood
back,
pressure,
bro. You good?
No, I get
My man, he said that.
He
I didn't
but Drew got a
he'd
point.
be okay
Drew
if
got
he
a
slept with
point.
a random. That's what he said. He said
No,
he'll be okay if he slept with a
This is
random.
point.
He said the problem is he slept with a co-worker. Well,
You got a point.
damn it.
No, Hank, the point is this. If you go stick a chick at Taco Bell, you get dusted because you cheated, which is unacceptable.
Bro,
but if you
I
go
swear
stick
to God,
somebody
I
in the
said
chain of command,
he
not only
shouldn't have done it.
dusted for cheating,
I swear,
but you get
from the
dusted on the
you
job
can run
too.
this tape back. You could
And
run
that's
this
double-
tape back.
It's
I
double
said
dust.
he should have had
It's
done
double
it. But
dust.
if you're going to do it, don't do it with a coworker. Hank, you couldn't even agree with that.
But Hank, you're gonna go and say, "Well, she didn't."
I'm married. I wouldn't even deal with nobody.
Well, guess
Not-
what?
not a
And
random,
Hank,
not a
I
coworker.
agree with you. Hank, I agree with you, and I bet you are loyal. I'm just saying, put yourself in Ime's shoes. You are the head coach, a public figure of the Boston Celtics. At the very minimum, you know that in a corporate environment, you cannot smash somebody in your chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
That's automatic, bro.
Well, I think
know that.
I think what Hank was saying was initially Hank was saying, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't consider what Ime Udoka did was cheating anyway because she did not want to get married. So basically, Hank was saying, why would you hold this man responsible for a relationship that she really didn't even want?
Because this gets back to the what if and the whataboutism. We're saying what if, but guess what? Ime thought he was in a relationship. He told her they were in a relationship. So it doesn't matter what we think about whether or not they were in a relationship. Ime told Nia, and Nia told Ime that they were in a relationship. That's all that matters.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
So you go by that standard that they were together.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and after I say this, we're gonna go to Mr. Bennett, and then we're gonna have final thoughts. If I propose to my girl, and she say yes, and she accept this damn ring that I gave her, and then she go publicly and say, "Well, I don't think I need to get married, and I don't want nobody to own me." Yeah, Freezy finna be smashing chicks too. Okay, so
Hey, all respect is going out the door, Freezy.
I'm
All
just saying,
respect is going out the door. When you
it's
when
gone.
you make a statement like that,
You
I got
looking
no
out the
respect
front door,
for you.
bro. You ain't even gonna
I
smash.
guarantee you,
You looking out the front
Freezy
door.
ain't gonna
From
have
that
a
main
whole
source.
girlfriend though. I guarantee you, Mr. Bennett ain't gonna have a whole girlfriend. They just gonna be randoms, right? At best, these women will be randoms. You're not gonna have a whole fucking girlfriend on the side. That's moving too sloppy, guys. Y'all know that. You're
it
moving
is.
too sloppy like that.
It ain't sloppy till you get caught. Okay, so Mr. Bennett, we gonna go to Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, I got
Why are
Mr.
y'all
Bennett. I
doing
got
this
to
to
dress
me?
it up. Listen,
Why?
listen. Mr. Bennett is the voice of reason. Mr. Bennett knows the Bible very well. I trust and believe whatever Mr. Bennett finna say, it gonna be the gospel. Mr. Bennett.
Put him on a big screen. Put him on a big screen so we can all watch him.
2011, Mr. Bennett, she prayed to God for a baby.
Number
And
one.
then in 2012, she said marriage was not a priority.
Number
15,
Mandrell, this is called leading the witness.
in 15, Ime Udoka did his due diligence, got on one knee, and gave her about a $300,000 ring. Y'all know
that was 300,000. You said it was 200,000 a minute ago.
Right,
that was 300,000. You see where this is going, right?
Interest rate.
So in 2020, 5 years later,
Number 4.
she said they might not ever get married. And she said the reason why they might ever get married because she don't want to be owned, Mr. Bennett. She don't feel like she gotta say I do. This after he gave her the ring and everything. And we know 2 years after that he got caught. He got caught with, the lady in the Celtics organization.
5.
So she made the announcement that they broke up. Mr. Bennett, you the last and final panelist to answer this question. Who do you blame ultimately for their breakup?
I'm gonna be like Dusto and say it's both of them, but it's not so much who broke it up, it's a matter of when. This relationship was over back in 2011. It was never a relationship to begin with. He was a sperm donor. She wanted to have a kid, and they basically co-parented for the past 11 years, but they were never together. I don't know. They might have been open. I can speculate this might have been one of those open deals, which certainly happens in that world. And it just so mattered that again he acted sloppily in that space. He was eating where he was planting, and he did some very dumb things to make it more public than it needed to be. But it could have been a very open relationship. We have no idea. But this was not a relationship, or at least not one. A relationship that you or I would consider one. So this relationship was over. It's almost like you cut the fruit off the vine. It can survive for a few days or maybe a week or so before it dies. But this thing was just dying. It was just a very slow death, and we were all just given this image of this was a healthy relationship for all these years, but it was never healthy to begin with. So for me, it's a matter of when this was over. And this was probably over at the time when she said that prayer. It was probably over because she never prayed for a relationship. She prayed for a child. And that's basically what she got from the deal. So the relationship was over a long time ago. We just had to go around for this long drawn out ride for no reason. It was, they should have just went their separate ways a long time ago. Or if they're going to keep it open, look, as long as it doesn't come back in my face or whatever, do it like Magic Johnson and Cookie. For years, Magic was very public. He went out there. He did all this stuff. He slept with thousands of women. He was at the Playboy Mansion, all that kind of stuff. The only thing Cookie said to him was, do all your stuff. Just don't put it in my face. And unfortunately, when he got AIDS, when all that stuff went down, that's when it came public and everything. But, but she stuck with him. But that was her only requirement. They could have kept it moving like that. and you know, that could have been something as well. But again, none of that was, you know, I guess none of that was expanded or expected. And that's the situation that they got. So again, she got what she wanted. She wanted a baby. She didn't want a relationship. And I don't think he necessarily wanted a relationship also. He wanted the cookie, but you know, it wasn't a relationship. It was an agreement, call it anything else, but it you know, it wasn't anything that's survivable. It just wasn't.
Mr. Bennett said she got what she prayed for in 2011. Damn. That was deep, man. She got what she did. She did. She got what she prayed for. I would give y'all my thorough take on this matter, but instead, y'all head on after this show. Go on over that no captivity with Freezy, because I did a whole reaction to this damn topic. Please. Okay, so we're about to give our final thoughts. Gentlemen, on the panel, I want to thank y'all because everybody gave interesting perspectives. What would you guys say as your final thought? What advice would you give to couples right now before they got married? I'm talking about like boyfriend and girlfriend couples, or men and women who are single, who wish to be in relationships. What advice would you give them to avoid this type of result that we've seen with Nia Long and Ime Udoka? We're gonna start with, you know what? We're gonna start with Dusto first. We're gonna start with Dusto. What advice? What's your final thought? What advice would you give to a couple that you know, so they can avoid what happened to Nia Long and Ime Udoka?
Here's the deal. There's stuff that you do, and then there's some stuff that you just don't do. Don't do that stuff. You know what it is. Don't do the dumb stuff that you're not supposed to do. And I want to hear it, but the YouTube talking point said we can spread our seed. But the high value man. But the man ain't leading. No. But tell me what you look like on a scale of 1 to 10. Don't do the stuff that you're not supposed to do. That's all I got.
Y'all check the Dusto out right here on Black Man Unfiltered. The Duster's Fear right here, man. Y'all check my boy out.
So basically, from Freezy, from Dusto's perspective, there's some stuff, and then there's some other stuff, and then there's stuff over there that you do, and then there's stuff that you don't do. So don't do the stuff. Thank you, Dusto. I won't do the stuff. Appreciate it.
Stuff.
Hashtag stuff. Hashtag dust.
If you don't do the
troops.
If you don't do the stuff, you should be all right.
Okay.
Hashtag double dust.
Yeah, hashtag dust.
Dusto, again, send me that supplement you're using though, bro.
Hashtag troops. Hashtag
Man,
Jesus.
Dusto on steroid, man.
Nah, that's supposed to have the opposite effect. Steroids will shrink this to mess you up, man. Nah, no
okay,
steroids.
okay.
Nah, lay off.
No, I'm good. I actually put on some weight. I'm gonna slim down though for the ladies, so you know. But you know.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
there's some stuff, and then there's some other stuff.
Yeah, go take that stuff. Go take
And
that stuff.
then the stuff that you do,
No,
you shouldn't do.
Mandrell, it's funny because you know what the stuff is. Don't be that dude doing the stuff. Then, man, it's the system, man. The courts, man.
It is the system. I don't know why you don't listen to me.
The white man.
It is the white man. Oh, Dusto, it's the white man. The white
right,
man
Jenny.
did it to me, Dusto. Oh.
Jenny, get Dusto the hell up out of here. Bye, Dusto.
Oh.
All right, Hank. Hey, y'all check Hank out. Hank, could you unplug your show, man? Y'all know Hank got a new show. Plug your show, Hank.
Man, just come over and check me out, man. 7 o'clock on Mondays we do a sports recap, but 7 o'clock on Wednesday, man, I do a man show. So come over and check me out. It's called The Basin, baby. Come subscribe and like and hang out in the basin with me. Be one of them basin dwellers, baby.
That's what's up. So so Hank, what advice would you give to up and coming couples or even single people, men or women, to avoid the type of outcome that Nia Long and Ime Udoka just suffered a couple weeks ago, a few days ago?
Well, one of the things I would do first things first, man, is ask the tough questions. And I had a show about that, talking about asking the tough questions, asking them uncomfortable questions, situational questions, all those questions that need to be asked, man, to the person that you are looking to possibly be a wife, or vice versa. You know, a wife trying to find a husband. Find out her expectation. Is marriage an expectation for her? And if it's not, and it's for you as a man, then you need to move as such. Then you need to leave her ass at a restaurant. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you now, if you're a man who's looking to be married, and you're talking or interacting or having conversation with a woman who's not looking to be married, let her be. Unless you just want to smash and keep it moving, then that's on you. But I wouldn't waste my goddamn time. I wouldn't waste my time with a woman who's not looking to get married. Because if that's the case, you know her body count is high, and I know some of you dudes are concerned about high body count. Let her be. But if you find that right woman, and I mean that right woman, not just any woman, a right woman, not a woman like what Nia Long is, who doesn't require marriage and just looking for a baby. No, that's not the right woman for you. The right woman who you look for to get married, you need to go through premarital counseling. That needs to be one of the things that you should do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that she's okay with that. But, you know, you're going to know that because that should be one of your questions. How does she feel about therapy? So let that be one of your questions. Make sure that you, when y'all are married, there's a circle of two. That means no other family member should know your business. That means nobody should be able to get in your circle. Nobody. Not the kids, not your mammy or your pappy, not uncles or aunties or cousins. Nobody, not even your sister. Girls you call your best friend, your sorority sisters, none of them heifers. And none of your fraternity brothers should be involved. Nobody. It's a circle of two, and nobody's entered in this circle. So whatever we're going through, we're going to work through it together. If you having unnecessary conversations with a woman, another woman outside of me, and you feel comfortable, you can tell her and not your husband, that's a problem. That is a problem. If you feel like, or we feel like that we need a third party in here, then that's what we're going to go to therapy. We're going to go to individual therapy, and we're going to go to couples therapy. That will be a requirement that I will have for that woman. That was what I would tell a young man, and I would encourage him to do such. You stand a better chance. But make sure before you even think about marriage, you ask them tough questions. I don't give a damn how pretty she is, how good she can cook, or how slim, or how good she can throw that thing back. It doesn't matter. All that's irrelevant. Because if you mess around, marry the wrong one, you're in trouble. Now you stuck with this heifer. So do what you got to do, man.
Hank, man, we appreciate you, man. Real talk. Y'all check Hank out in the basement. Hank, we always appreciate your perspective, bro. And
Right
you have
on,
a good
big
night.
brother. Right on.
Real talk.
All right.
Okay, up next, we got Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, before you get started, I just want to let y'all know, Mr. Bennett be working out. I be looking at the brother on Instagram. Y'all go check out Mr. Bennett workout videos. The man is thorough. If y'all want to learn how to lose weight, gain muscle, Mr. Bennett is the man to go to. Mr. Bennett, I done got some tips from you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm doing some stuff now. So, Mr. Bennett, what advice do you have to up and coming couples, male and female, who aspire to have successful marriage? I want to say relationships. I want to say marriage, and how to avoid ending up in the place that Nia Long and Ime Udoka has ended up today.
First of all, you need to be intentional. All right, both people have to be intentional. Both people have to know what they want and state it explicitly, with no deviations and no compromise in terms of this is what I want. All right. If you're not marriage minded, we don't need to date. I don't need to get to know the like you or whatever, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for marriage-minded people. So if you're not in that pool, then I'm not, we don't need to waste any time. That's number one. Number two, if you are thinking about marrying someone, and this is for guys, again, a ring, you got 1 year to get it right. All right. I don't care how you do it. Again, go to the courthouse, go, justice of the peace, go to Vegas, go whatever. But marriage has a date on it. And so I think you should definitely set that expectation. And if you're a woman, now again, I got 3 daughters who are all getting into marriageable age. And I'm telling them also, if a guy gives you a ring, and if he's not serious about a date, or if you guys aren't thinking about a date, then what are you guys doing? You guys just playing house, but y'all not trying to be married. And so I think for both of them, I mean, and there's no such thing as almost married, even if you're engaged. That's like being almost pregnant. There is no such thing. You're either pregnant or you're not. So I think you really have to make that the goal. I understand certain circumstances. You might be in the military or overseas, whatever. I mean, there's circumstances that are there, but again, there needs to be an action plan when it comes to this. If you see any hesitancy on that, or if someone's going to say, "Look, we already got a good thing already. Why ruin it?" Then that's you're not being intentional about what you want. So I would encourage that. That's what I would tell my 3 daughters. And that's what I tell them what to look for. And those are conversations, for the men that would be suitors. That's a conversation that I would certainly like to hear from them. I want to know what their thought process is. I have no problem with telling my daughters, I don't know about this guy. I got to be upfront with them. I'm going to screen them whether they like it or not, no matter how much in love they are. But I got to be truthful. Now they're going to have agency. They're going to do what they want. And that's another thing. Just one thing I didn't bring up in the conversation is that both men and women have agency. So I don't buy the argument. Women can't always be the victims in this situation. I mean, with the Ime story, the woman he was with, even though they said it was consensual, if you look at the media coverage, they made her the victim. Now you're making Nia the victim. So again, everybody's the victim in the situation. Women, you have agency. That's what feminism, I thought that's what that was, the right over your body and the right to make your own decisions. So again, use that, what you have, that's what's been fought for to be given to you, and hold us accountable to the things that we're saying to you. So that's all I would have to say on the matter. But again, great show tonight, great conversation, and go Steelers this weekend. And hopefully we can get back into this AFC mix. We're just a game out. We chasing, but we're just trying to get into this. Just get into mix in December. That's Tomlin's time of year. So go Steelers.
Mr. Bennett in the building, always giving us the jewels, man. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Peace.
Black David. Before you get started, cause let me tell you something about you, Black David. You like Black Confucius. You know what I'm saying? You get deep, man. So you got a channel you want to plug for? Don't you got a channel, Black David? You got a YouTube channel.
I do have a channel. It's actually why only in this black world they do this to me? I do have a channel. It's called CBN Tech Talk. I just recently updated my PC to make sure it's super fast so I can do the pop-up broadcasting. So we're looking forward to see a few content popping up very soon, because there's a couple of conversations I want to engage with folks so they could be aware what is going on. For those who want to build computers and don't want to get into the IT fields, and those who want to build some kind of system for streaming as well, which I do have the insight to what can help you make it easier and effective for you guys. You could check me out on Instagram, Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. I am legit. What I do for a living is legit. That is my channel. When you go there, all the actual links are there. About today's topic.
Yeah, what advice would you give up and coming couples, male and female, to avoid the demise that Nia Long and Ime Udoka has gone through?
I would say before you caught that emotional sexual path. And for screw this marker looking like a woman, dude, don't start right now. Real talk. You need to have the tough question, the tough conversation you want to ask before you cross that path. Because come to female, they're emotionally attached to it. Don't bring a kid into a relationship if you don't plan to be married. Rather yet, seek your elders in your circle of people before you even think about popping out a kid and ask them what they went through, what it's like, what they're going to be like being a parent. Because I'm seeing that celebrities don't know how to do it correct, so you can't trust celebrities for anything. And the fact that we have people from our community and making a fool of themselves doing this type of mess, it says a lot more why you need to be aware of what you're going to do going forward. According to Hink, if you ain't married, you're still single, you're not cheating. I think we need to make that super clear. Just because you are dating your boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't mean you are actually an item. Because too many people try to blur the line what a relationship really is compared with the game they've been playing. So we all know in our neighborhood, we have people playing the same game over and over. Yo, you my main girl. I got 3 other baby mamas that you don't know about. God forbid I show up on a Maury show. You're trying to do a DNA test. I think we're making a fool out of when we do these things and think like, oh, I'll dip when I get out there. And me and Taru think the same way. Why do that in a corporate setting? For what purpose? I work for corporate America, so I've seen the shenanigans. I heard the rumors of the shenanigans. I work for a company that had a stupid policy which I make sure. Okay, I'll demolish your house over there in Mexico. We keep playing like that, Marcus. Either way, what I'm trying to point out is this. Keep your issue clean. Don't do things out there you want to talk about behind your back and you trying to hire a PR specialist to clean up your dirt for you. Because we know the streets. The streets always they talking. They don't have no respect for nobody. So if anything you do, prepare for the consequences, all right?
Dusto. Man, thank you, Dusto. I mean, not Dusto, CBN David, Black David, my bad. Yo, you and Dusto look alike, my bad. But listen, man, thank you, man. Thank you for your perspective. I'm just
Black man, don't start, Black man. I know how you laugh.
Man, hey, Black David, thank you for your perspective, man. You're always giving it to him slow and steady. And y'all check out Black David channel, man. CBN Tech Talk. I might need to holler at you too, Black David, about some tech stuff, man.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help anybody. You don't believe me? Okay. Act Black man. Act Don GQ. I'm that kind of guy. I'll give you that now. And I want to make sure you understand what you get yourself into.
Yeah, you.
And I don't know why y'all do me dirty.
I got 2 tech guys as my friends, man. You and Mandrell, man. But okay, so
hey, we bump heads with ideas all the time. We all the time think which is better. So it's all good.
But hey, Black David, thank you, man. And I want to say have a blessed night, my brother. Real talk.
I will.
Shout out to Sir Hale in the building. Okay, we got my boy, Tyrus. That's how we're going to say your name from now on. Tyrus, do you have any social media you want to plug right now?
That's my IG right here, Tyrus_05. Hit me up, guys. My YouTube is just the same without the underscore. I just be out here, man. I believe in just making myself a self-sustaining economy. That's why I invest like an old white dude. You know what I mean? I believe in just being present as a father. And so I do everything, man. Y'all could just hit me up on IG. I'm a car enthusiast, so post pictures of my ride, just my gaming setup, everything, man. We could talk whatever.
That's what's up, man. So Tyrus, listen, man. It's looking ugly, man. Nia Long and Ime Udoka, I don't even know if they're going to get back together again. Only time will tell. But what advice would you give to couples or even single people, male and female, to avoid these type of mistakes that Nia Long and Ime Udoka made? What would you tell? What would you tell people? Going into the future.
Whenever you're vetting someone, male or man or woman, look at who you want to be individually, then look at the person you're with, who they want to be individually. If those paths, career paths especially, if that means that you guys are going to be separated for long stretches of time, it's probably not going to work. Save yourself some time and keep it moving. It's not either or. It is a 2-lane highway and you're both going down together, parallel. You guys got to be lockstep in a relationship. It's not either or. It takes two to make the whole thing work. Everybody's got to be on the same page. That's how you get that cruise control. That's how you get that convoy going. You get what I mean? And so when you're evaluating somebody, make sure you guys are on the same page. Make sure with God, fellas, when you're looking at that girl and she's telling you who she wants to be in the future, you got to be like excited for that. Like, yo, I want, that's not my dream, but I'm going to help you get to your dream. Because you achieving your dream makes our relationship, makes our foundation stronger. But guess what? We as guys, that takes follow through. That takes standing up and following through. At no point, fellas, this is why I'm so strict with dudes, because there are so many situations in life where we can control the outcome. And if you know you could have tweaked this little thing and it would have changed all this, then it's no one else's fault but your own for why you failed. At the end of the day, Ime could have been set a date for that marriage, for that wedding. At the end of the day, he could have locked it down, I guarantee you, a long time ago. She accepted the ring after all. At the end of the day, Ime understood and knew his responsibilities and his role as a public figure, as not just a fiance, not just as a father, but as a public figure, as the head coach of the Boston Celtics. As a man, he made too many mistakes that I could look at any decision that Nia Long did as a reason for why this failed. Because as a man, as a leader, he failed. Guys, if you want to be a leader and you want to be treated like a leader, you better have the resume that says you're qualified to be treated as such, or you are not obligated to that level of respect.
Tyrus, let me tell you something, Tyrus. Man, I enjoy you on these panels, man, because one thing we can guarantee, you will not be a damn echo chamber. You're going to give your own train of thought and your own mindset, and we appreciate that, man. Real talk.
Thank you, man. Hey, thank you for having me again, Freezy.
Man, for real, man. I fuck with you, bro. And man, and have a blessed night, my brother. Real talk,
you
man.
too.
Thank you for showing up. Mandrell. Listen. Everybody listen here. This guy right here, aside from him being my dog, right? When Mandrell show up on these panels, I want y'all to know who y'all looking at. This man has been a part of special forces, okay? This dude got people missing right now to this day. We don't know about it. And you better not piss him off. He gonna put that black suit on your ass, okay? And also, Mandrell knows martial arts, okay? This man will roundhouse kick your whole damn head off. All right. Not only that, this man is very he's very sound in tech. All right. I want y'all to understand who y'all be looking at when Mandrell show up on these panels, man. Very prolific individual, and I'm very proud to know this guy. You understand? So, Mandrell, I would plug your show, but I'm gonna have you do your own plugging because you at home right now on Black Man Unfiltered. Tell them where to catch you at, Mandrell, on Black Man Unfiltered.
You can catch me Wednesday nights at 8:30 Central, right here on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. The name of my show is Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. Shushu is my younger sister. She co-hosts with me normally. And yeah, come check us out. Interesting conversations, interesting topics, as usual.
I've been a part of the show, and I can vouch. Mandrell is crazy as hell, but I'm going to tell you something. That man is very informative, and he gives a great show. Mandrell, listen. Neil Long and Ime Udoka, they ain't together no more. Okay? She just announced they broke up or whatnot. And what advice would you have for people who are in relationships right now or who aspire to be in one and want to get married? What advice would you give to these people to avoid this type of outcome that Neil Long and Ime Udoka suffered?
Well, the thing is, bottom line is this. This comes from, looks like a lack of commitment and a lack of discipline. This tends to happen in situations, from my observation, we have things like open relationships, you practice polygamy, and the guy be sloppy about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what this happens. So, fellas, if you can't commit to a woman, don't waste her time nor yours.
You know what?
Just be honest with her and send her about her business.
You're the first person that actually I heard that perspective from, the polygamy side. But go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah. This tends to be what you see, like when it goes wrong, you know. But like I said, if you can't commit to a woman, don't waste her time. Just let her know up front. You're not into it. You don't want a committed relationship. You want an open relationship, and let her make a decision from there. Oh, Mandrell, but what if she says no? Then she says no. There's literally 4 billion women on the planet. Pick another one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She's not into it. Okay, there are plenty of women who are. So don't be a lying piece of shit. Don't do that. Okay? Don't be a liar and a thief, because you're lying to her, number one, if you're doing the wrong thing, and then you're stealing this woman's time. That makes you a thief. And I hate thieves. Can't stand them. You can't trust a thief.
So you're giving accountability on both sides. That's what
accountability on both. Like he said, she didn't require marriage, so she didn't require him to commit fully. You know what I'm saying? He was just being undisciplined. You know what I'm saying? He did it right in her face with a woman who they have to see all the time. You can't do that, man.
I don't think he gave a damn no more after a while.
Right. I mean, you've been engaged for how long? You know what I'm saying? Going on 8 years.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? And she's like, I don't understand. Like, why do I have to get married to prove to you that I love you? It ain't to prove that you love him. You already love him. He already knows that. It's the commitment. You got to put that thing on paper. You know what I'm saying? There are no consequences to his action now. She can just leave, and then nothing happens to him. He's okay. No consequences. No lesson to be learned.
You can put him on child support.
Oh, so what? He's a millionaire.
Yeah.
And so is she. So I mean, how much is he really gonna pay? You can't say, well, Kanye pays $250. Kanye agreed to that because Kanye is an idiot. You can't follow idiots, people. He can't be an idiot if he's a billionaire. Yes, he can, and he's proof that you can Mr. Magoo your way into $1 billion because he did it.
Why you keep trashing that man?
Because he's a perfect example of what not to be as a black man in this country.
Well,
picture perfect example of what
right on
several times, and several times over.
Well,
and I love it. I like how Black Man Unfiltered never brings him up anymore, especially after he went on Alex Jones, and went on this tirade. And then after that, he does another interview where they ask him to clear it up. No, I meant what I said. I love it. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? He meant what he said, and he knows what he's saying.
But you know what he was trying to say, though.
No, I don't. He is the most anti-black man in the public today. There's no other famous black dude who's more anti-black than Kanye West. And it's been that way a long time. He's anti-black.
Oh,
he doesn't care about black people. He cares about himself. And the way he's moving doesn't look like he cares about that anymore. But anyway, like I said, people, don't be sloppy and don't be stupid. Don't be this guy being sloppy, slinging his meat around in front of his lady's face with other women. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that and hope to have a stable relationship. Which, I mean, just looking at the way things, the evidence that we have, doesn't look like it was very stable at all. You know what I'm saying? Looked like there's a lot going on there, a lot of moving parts, and things got confused. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, Nia found out what she was asking for. Again, like I said, both of them were wrong because she didn't require commitment, and he couldn't keep his joint in his pants. So, I mean, or at least keep it out of her face. You know what I'm saying? Keep his shenanigans out of her face.
Right.
You know, so I suggest people use this as an example of what not to do. Polyamory doesn't work if you're just hooking up. I'd rather you have the hookup culture thing than do this. Now you got a child involved. Wear condoms. Use protection if you're going to sleep around. Protect yourself. There's plenty of STDs out here going around. To include HIV and AIDS. Those two things haven't gone anywhere. You got to be safe.
That's true. You're absolutely right, man. Mandrell, man, I love your perspective, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for showing up tonight. You always show up, man. We can always expect you. And you're going to get out my boy Kanye, too, man. God damn.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to cut my foot dead on his neck. Then he goes and does interview. He's walking around with a literal white supremacist, taking flights with him or whatnot. A literal white supremacist. Talk about a jigaboo.
He's trying to get the white vote for 2000.
I've never seen anyone who fights so hard for white validation in my lifetime. Even the Reverend Al Sharpton didn't do this.
Yeah, he kind of he got a little messy the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a Mr. Tom. We sick, but boss, we sick.
All right, man, Mandrell. Listen, man, we thank you. We thank you for showing up, bro. Until the next time. But I'm gonna go ahead and sum up the show. I want to give a special shout out to my dog, Black Man Unfiltered. Shout out to Black Man Unfiltered for having me host tonight's show. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really hope that everybody in the chat and everybody that was listening enjoyed themselves as well. Make sure that you guys check out Black Man Unfiltered, the shows on his program. I think I'm just gonna freestyle this right now, but he got Talk That Talk Tuesdays. He got Unfiltered Reaction, Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shoo, and Barbershop Talk, right? And also check out Black Man Unfiltered Shorts. Y'all check him out, man. Give a shout out to Jenny. Jenny, you did a great job. Jenny always do a great job running the show in the background. Jenny, you're beautiful and you run the show perfectly. Also, I want to give my take on Nia Long and Ime Udoka. That whole relationship confused the hell out of me. But I just want to say this right here. Black women, be intentional. Hink, Mandrell, Mr. Bennett, Tyrus, everybody, even DL, everybody that showed up on the panel, Black David, everybody, I'm Dusto, I'm pretty sure everybody agrees. Women, be intentional. Be intentional. Okay, know what you're getting yourself into. Know what you want. If you want marriage, be intentional. Don't just go into a relationship cloudy, but the only thing that you know you want is a damn baby. If you ask Freezy, that's messy as hell. Okay, She got what she wanted, and their relationship was doomed from the start. If you want more information and more insight into this subject, check out No Captivity with Freezy. No Captivity with Freezy. That is my YouTube channel. Go on over there. I did a whole reaction video to this Nia Long and Ime Udoka circus. Okay. And also I got, y'all check out other videos. I got about 30 some videos on my channel right now. I'm still new, but I'm trying to entertain y'all. Black Man Unfiltered. Jenny, thank y'all. Everybody on the panel. We can't forget about What We Know podcast. JT, they was in the chat. World Class, Truth, everybody was in the chat. Marcus, everybody that was in the chat. Queen, we thank you for showing up in the chat. Who else did I leave out? So basically I just want to thank everybody for showing up. And this has been another great show. And until the next time, we out of here.